can lie. Alibis get swept aside. I got proof that can't be denied. The data don't lie, people do. Waves crashing, secrets in the tide. Facts and numbers side by side. Through the chaos I will abide. The data don't lie, people do. Look at the records, feel the vibe. Digits and bytes come alive. I stand tall with nothing to hide. The data don't lie, people do. May twist and tongues may tie. Plausible tales shape the sky. In the end you can verify. The data don't lie, people do. It's in the matrix beyond the eye. Hard truth that's flying by. Evidence you can't defy. The data don't lie, people do. Look at the records, feel the vibe. Digits and bytes come alive. I stand tall with nothing to hide. The data don't lie, people do. Digits and bytes come alive. I stand tall with nothing to hide. The data don't lie, people do.
Hello everybody, how are we all? I can see y'all today. Hello Lexi, thanks for joining us from Karen's channel. Supermod, you can fight over who I'm talking to. Can you grab the link for Karen Cole's channel and paste it in the chat for me, please? And like I said, I'll let you two fight over who's Supermod today. I actually had a power outage yesterday and missed the show completely. I had to run up the hill just to send you all a message to let you know. But it turns out I couldn't start the generator. I was trying to get the generator going, so I had power. And I couldn't get the damn thing to go. So when I finally got back online, Kevy over here, Irish outsider, basically said, oh, you know what, there's a real good trick with getting a Genie going when you can't pull it. I don't have the arm length to pull it, so I just can't get it going. And then he showed me this video of using your drill to start it. I was like, get the fuck out of here. It was that easy. So he got promoted back to Supermod again. Thank you, Kev, for posting Karen's channel in the chat for me.
Well, at least you got it sorted.
We got it sorted. So everyone, this is Karen. Her channel is in her channel link is in the chat, so you'll know to go over there and join and whatever. Let's switch over to this picture because you wanted to put this up on the screen. So
yes, I've got Ziggy on my lap. Well, he's just jumped off, and now he's like wanting to get in on the action.
We're very puppy friendly over here. How's it going, Ziggy?
Hello.
Ziggy.
Lexi's always sending him treats. So,
right.
Yeah, but I use them for some of my videos, and one of the I have different playlists, and one of the playlists is pet awareness. And so I think I sent you a little video of him playing at the beach, and that's one of the behind the scene ones that I don't think got in it, but it's very similar. So,
oh, that's what the other one is. There music in it? Did you say?
No, I sent you the behind the scenes one, so there's no music. But they can go
Gotcha.
over and see the one. It's in my shorts if they want to hear the music. But for you, the one that I sent doesn't have music.
All right, hang on, let me find it.
It's a behind the scenes, like without any. It's just the original. One of the original is just so cute.
This isn't so straightforward. Just give me 1 sec. I will get it up though.
Put it this way: he's smaller than most cats.
He's pretty cute. Let me share it with the audience so they can see. There you go. He's a cutie pie.
Yeah.
So
They're gonna dig in a hole.
very cute.
So anyway, if you hear noises in the background, that's Ziggy.
Yeah. Whatever. No, I'm just joking. Usually my dog's getting around somewhere. He's either barking in the background or he's sitting right next to me farting or doing something. And it's like, go away. Make those noises somewhere else.
I know. When I do a lot of pre-recorded on my videos, and so he's my grandpuppy, and I'm watching him, and you can hear the pitter patter of him, and I think, oh no, I have to re-record because that will sound silly in the videos. So
Right.
yeah. So when you see Ziggy, that's my grandpuppy in the little pet videos in the playlist. So.
Very cute. Let me do some quick hellos. Let me do a shout out to Princey is in the house. How's it going, Princey? She's another super mod. Sorry, Kev, but you're all super mods to me. One of Karen's subs is here, Lexi.
Yeah, she's a mod. She's one of my mods.
Okay. And Shell, of course, another super mod. And Kevy, the super mod. He got promoted yesterday. Grazer, how's it going? Here for the reckless Ben conversation, I presume. We'll get to that eventually. AZ music teacher, hello. All right, I think I got Chisel. I got Chisel. All right, so let's switch over to bye Ziggy.
Bye Ziggy.
Switch over to this screen. And
Banksy. What's your picture?
Mine's, oh no, we've been mugged. It's just a little it's just a little meme that I always like to put up because it's funny. And I'm a coffee fiend. I always start every stream with a fresh coffee. So, and then some of the way through it, I might end up switching to an actual face of me.
Oh, can you do that? Can you switch the photos?
Yeah, put your click on you're on a phone, so tap on your picture, and you should get the edit screen to change your photo.
Oh, okay, I'll do that in a bit. Then maybe to change it up. But I did a video. I did a video on reading coffee grinds, and it was really cool. Some of the stuff it showed. So yeah, that was that. I thought it was a mouse at first when I saw that.
I prefer to read bubbles.
It's a coffee.
Bubbles are like, oh no. All right. Hello, Ben Bennett. Thanks for joining us. Let's get this underway. If you can see in your interface there anywhere, a private chat, it's got like just a little outline sort of thing for us to follow along and some notes there. So I was thinking, we don't have to follow anything word for word.
Is this it here? Let me type a message. See.
I had a little script, but we don't have to follow it word for word. It was just if you didn't turn up, I got everything mapped out. Do you know what I mean? This is it.
Yeah. I know. You never know, do you? Yeah.
Right. Sometimes, someone gets a power outage.
Yeah, exactly. Or
So
my internet is always going off, and thank goodness it's cooled down, but we've been having a real heat wave. And I know other people have been having a heat wave in different parts of the state. And my phone has been overheating so much and just uses up
yeah,
so much energy. I don't know how you deal with it. Oh, is it your winter right now?
I was going to say it's probably the only place in the world that's not hot at the moment, apparently.
Yeah, yeah.
We're pretty cold here. I got the heater on,
Oh,
which probably
oh,
just saying it makes everybody sweat. So sorry.
yeah.
All right,
So,
let's start. Let's get everybody introduced to the topic today. So we've got two topics, all right? Never underestimate Alan Jackson. And hello, Banksy. Are you watching? So
I
everyone's
don't
going to
know
be
that
like,
one.
what the hell are you talking about with the Banksy thing? So I'll just do a quick, just to say that people hang around for that part of the video, of the stream. Reckless Ben is doing another, he's working on another video, another docu-series right now. So what he's trying to do is get Banksy's attention so we can interview him.
Oh, okay. Is that
And
the Lego claim?
that's the Lego guy, but this is another story that he's doing altogether. So he's working on multiple, but this one he wanted to put on like a HBO ID docuseries. I can't even remember where.
Oh, okay.
He had something going on with them, but they kind of backed off because some of the stunts he pulled to get Banksy's attention were like over the top. So, but I mean,
Did you hear? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say this Lego thing blew up so big. I can't believe he doesn't know who Reckless Ben is at this stage.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I heard that Netflix, I don't know if you heard this, but they're going to be offering creators to go on their if they have series and stuff like that.
Yeah, I boycotted Netflix a long time ago. They can go jump. Personal reasons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to our first topic. This is the Karen Reid topic. Now, if you're on the Reckless Ben topic, they're very closely aligned because she's going through civil court right now. One of the cases, so she tried to join one of her cases with the wrongful death suit that John O'Keefe's family filed against her. What happened was they bumped it out of that section of her claim. They bumped it out of the civil state court and removed it to the federal court. So that's where the similarities are with Karen Reid and Reckless Ben. For those who are Reckless Ben followers and here for that news.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where the similarities end because the suits are very different. Reckless Ben's facing a RICO lawsuit, RICO on defamation. Karen Reid's just defamation at this stage is a separate suit that other people filed against her. And those other people happen to be the Housos, what we call them here.
House defendant.
The Housos.
Oh, I get it. Housos.
So
Clever.
did you get to watch Bob and Ali Defense Diaries or Brother Counsel Martin
Yes.
Radner? You did get
Yes,
to watch this.
I did watch them after you said you were going to be talking about what they said. So, yeah.
So that's what I wanted to sort of start with because I do want to acknowledge that, they are experienced lawyers and we respect their opinions and perspectives. And I am not an experienced lawyer, but Karen probably has a little bit more experience in the whole lawyering thing than I do. She's at least attended court as a. I'll let you. I'll let you introduce.
Yeah, for civil litigation, obviously there's a different burden. So, and a lot of the cases I do are civil litigation. And when I was in Canada, I used to work for a criminal lawyer and solicitor. So I used to do research for him. And then I was a parole officer in Canada. So that's my criminal. And I do a bit of criminal here, like, you know, lower end crimes.
When you say here, you mean Gloucester.
England, yeah, Gloucestershire,
Let me say it like a Massachusettsian.
Gloucestershire. Yeah. So, but I go all over England. So a lot of my cases will be in London. I've been to the High Court. So yeah, I've done appeals. I've done employment law. So and a lot of the civil litigations are, I find, very similar to Massachusetts. But when we get into this topic, remind me to talk about how the hell did they miss the amendments, or was that strategic? So, because we have a whole different system here, and something like that couldn't have been missed.
Right. And I don't specifically want to try and compare, because I think Americans are having a hard enough time getting their heads around their own system. I actually get your system because we're both under the Westminster system, so we have a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
But that's nothing like the American system. So
yeah. So I can understand how they can have these issues, because we have a completely different system, and so, you know, the issues they're having, we wouldn't have, just because of the way our system is.
So I just want to quickly shout out, hello Kim and Wonder, thank you for joining us, and Older Than Dirt in the house. So Older Than Dirt's hit the nail on the head. A lot of law nerds think Karen's team is making a huge mistake, and that's where I wanted to start. I don't want to go against the grain here, but I'm probably gonna, because you know what I'm like. But from the outset, I got to say I do agree with them, right? In one sense, that they read through the email exchange, that's the back and forth between the attorneys. And one attorney's threatening a default on Karen if she doesn't address specific things.
Should we set that up for people?
The email exchange?
Well, set up what's actually happened, because there was an amendment. The claimants put in an amendment, right? So once an amendment,
first of all, they filed a defamation case against Karen and Aidan Carney for conspiracy to defame. I think that's it, isn't it?
Defamation. Yeah,
conspiracy
defamation.
to defame. Then they amended their complaint and added some more shit onto it. So
yeah, and that once you amend something, it becomes, some people, I heard brother counsel, and he uses Martin. He uses the word, it becomes the operative, and we just say it replaces it, and all the earlier ones are now no longer existent.
Correct.
But that's where I was thinking with this. So that's the premise of that, right? So
correct. So the email exchange is basically saying, if Karen doesn't do what we want her to do, then we're going to file a default against her. Right. That is, pretend like she didn't actually reply at all to the claim.
Yeah.
To either claims. And so that's a little bit of a gotcha for her, because what it means is she has to waive a bunch of her rights, her right to respond, her right to amend, her right to freaking everything. Meanwhile, they don't want their rights to be, they're like, we're going to maintain our rights, obviously.
Yeah.
So she'd be mad if she signed on to that. So in that sense, I agree. There is no default, because she is participating. Just because she
it's pretty clear.
Just because she captioned her pleading incorrectly, you know, often that happens. Yeah. You copy paste. Oop, forgot to change that bit. While we're on that subject, let me share a screen. Let me go.
Yeah, so that's what she did. They copied the original one that was filed instead of the amended one.
Yeah. Let me show you something that they did. Like, they're fucking
digging a hole. They're digging a hole just like Ziggy.
This is what they filed. What the fuck is that shit? Like,
I can't see it.
I don't know what happened, but what the fuck is that shit? It's just gobbledygook. It's nothing. It's the whole. It's 4,000 pages of. I don't know what
4,000
it is.
pages.
I don't even know what it is. It's just a bunch of characters. It looks laid out like it's a
Oh my
motion, but
God.
everything's fucked up.
It's got it's got dollar signs and everything in it.
Right, and even worse, Colin Albert just filed his own complaint.
Is it
His
in
own.
code? Is it
I
in
don't,
code? If
it's
you
not it's not code either. I tried my hardest to work it out, and I even got the AI to look at it. I don't know what the fuck it is. But anyway, everyone fucks up, okay? Colin
okay.
Albert just filed his affidavit for the wrongful death suit
Mhm.
just in the last couple of days, but then he copied that and pasted it into the defamation suit and says, I'm not a party to this.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yes, you are. You are a party to the defamation suit, but you are not a party to the wrongful death. And it was correct when you pasted it to the wrongful death suit, but it was incorrect when you pasted it to. So yeah, if you really want to talk about fuck ups, like everyone
Yeah.
fucks up, all right. And so this was just a caption fuck up. They just left the Barnstable caption on the top. Nonetheless, she is participating. She is responding to motions to, compel and all that sort of shit.
Okay, just a minute. What's showing on the screen is gobbledygook.
Yeah, that
Oh,
is their fuck up, not hers.
so you're
I'm gonna
serious? It was filed with
I'm
a
serious.
word.
That was filed. 4,225 pages of gobbledygook was filed by them.
Wow.
So
Okay,
if,
I didn't
if
know
we
that.
if we're gonna point out fuck ups,
Yeah.
then
Well, then they filed out of time because they didn't file anything.
right. So I'm just going to leave that on the screen while I talk about the fuck ups. So there is no default. Default means that she hasn't responded at all and she's not participating in the action. But that's not what's happening here. Okay, so I agree with Martin Radner and Ali and Bob on that score. And aside of that, they're also arguing that Reed's team dropped the ball because the anti-slap motion doesn't address the specific Terry Muir allegations.
Right.
And that's also the plaintiff's claim. On pages 6, 10, 12, and 19, they repeat it over and over of their opposition motion. They say, oh, she didn't address the Terry Muir claim.
The amended part.
Right. But here's the thing. Let me switch the screen over now to this one, and I'll show you. She does actually address the amended complaint. And then we'll talk about, how it all sort of ties together. But here in the amended complaint, all right, paragraph 1's just the history of it, okay? Plaintiffs have now sued Reed for speech pertaining to her defense. And they talk broadly about anti-slap statute provides civil immunity for the exercise of the right to petition government. Its protection extends not only to statements made directly to government bodies, but those made in connection with ongoing judicial proceedings and statements reasonably likely to enlist public participation. So they go on. Here, as explained, the anti-slap statute requires dismissal of all plaintiff's claims against Miss Reed because they are based solely on her petitioning activity, and plaintiffs cannot prove by a preponderance of the evidence that the petitioning was devoid of any reasonable factual support or arguable basis in law. Accordingly, she moves to dismiss. And in support of her motion, here's her background. Unlike a motion to dismiss, which is a standard 12B6,
yeah,
a court faced with anti-slap motion shall consider supporting and opposing affidavits stating the facts upon which the liability or the defense is based. Okay, so in a 12B6, you probably would go, response to paragraph 1, not responding. Response to paragraph 2, get fucked. Whatever.
Yeah.
You would do that in a normal 12b6 motion. But in an anti-slap motion, it's very different, and it shifts the burden as well. But she does say, here Miss Reed sets forth the following facts drawn from the what? The plaintiff's amended complaint.
Yeah.
Right? So she is
Yeah.
aware that she's replying to the amended complaint. I don't
Right. So you
agree.
can't go for a dismissal, you know.
You can't go with default on that. She is replying to the amended complaint. And so that's what Martin and Ali and Bob are all arguing, that because and it goes along the same lines as what the House defendants are arguing. They're basically saying the Muir statements were allegedly direct defamatory statements to a private documentarian. That's what their claim is. They claim there was no governmental redress nexus.
But it's a public interest, you would think, as well.
However, that's making Terry Muir a special type of journalist over and above Aiden. And it's also making the fact that she had full access to the defense team during trial 2. So saying that there was no governmental redress nexus is a total load of crap, because it was happening through trial 2. She gave them full access. She gave Terry Muir full access, which is, I think, something Aiden didn't even get, to be honest.
Yeah.
He got some access, but I don't think he got full access. But I don't agree with the distinction. So let's quickly switch over. Let me see if I've just covered the things I wanted to do. I'm just going to pop that into a new paragraph so I know to come back to it. Let's switch over to share Ali's post, just so you can see where they're coming from, in case, someone didn't watch Ellie and Bob's show.
And they're from Defense Diaries.
Defense Diaries, correct. So basically, Ali is saying, why didn't Karen Reid's lawyers seek leave to amend their motion to dismiss after realizing it was really a motion tied to the original complaint and not the amended complaint? I don't agree with that. I think they're addressing it. They're just not doing a motion to dismiss. She says, I hope they still request leave. There is some support for arguing that the 60-day anti-slap clock runs from the amended complaint. And then she cites a direction. It's not really a ruling from any court. It's just a footnote, and it's direction. It's not really a ruling. And I said to her, look, anti-slap is different to a motion to dismiss, isn't it? It says petitioning activity is protected full stop, including anything said to any media reporter. That includes Aiden and Terry Muir. Motion to dismiss might require every allegation listed, but anti-slap does not. Or am I missing something? So she replies, well, the issue is they don't advance any specific arguments to support why the new allegations are petitioning activity. The new statements are different in nature than those in the original complaint and require slightly different arguments and different petitioning motives or basis. But the same law, they argue, does support finding the new statements are petitioning activity. So she's agreeing with me, but she thinks there's nuance.
And isn't Karen Reid protected because she's being, she's in a criminal complaint,
Because
right?
she's a defendant.
She's a defendant.
She's in the middle of a fucking criminal court hearing, so she's a defendant. She has the right.
So anything she says cannot be defamation, I would have thought.
Correct. So essentially I said, I feel like acknowledging the plaintiff's version that Muir is, somehow detached entertainment media where Aiden's not, is playing into their little blackmail scam, if that makes sense. Oh, you fucked up, we're going to default you. I feel like that's playing into it. And I don't see Aiden being any different to Terry Muir just because she's some sort of, corporate
Yeah.
mouthpiece, and he's a independent journalist, it doesn't make it any different to what Karen's objective is there.
Well, it's a media. It's media.
Her objective is public participation, petitioning for public participation. Try and say that real fast.
Yeah.
So that's what I was sort of saying. Like, I'm not sure I'm getting the nuance, because you can only have that nuance is if you feel that Terry Muir and Aiden are two separate things altogether. So
Well, either
maybe,
way, she's trying to get public awareness out, right, of the
correct. To
corruption.
Karen, it's the
So,
same thing. To
yeah.
them, they might be thinking, like, even to Ali, she might be thinking that there's a difference because Aiden's an activist, maybe, and Terry Muir is not. I'm not sure what the nuance is there, what the difference is.
Well, if it's true, if whatever statements she said is true, then how can that be defamation?
Mm-hmm.
So either way,
True.
for the trial, they'll find out, right?
So I said to her, like, I guess I'm asking, can a court, not the plaintiffs and whatever, but can the court avoid the anti-slap by slicing one pleaded public advocacy campaign into artificial subcategories? Because that is an artificial categorization between Aiden and Muir. Could it be that Bob and Ali feel that the split there is because Aiden's being accused of the conspiracy, whereas Terry Muir is not?
Yeah.
I think
You're
that,
asking me, or was that part of your?
well, it's just a question in the air. What do you reckon?
So, yeah, if she's trying to get public awareness out, and she's sharing that information with a media outlet,
Then there is no difference between
and
Aiden and Terry Muir.
in my opinion, there isn't. And yeah, the court, I would think the court could, like, sever out what they think isn't slap. So maybe certain comments they will say, well, that's not covered under the anti-slap, but it would be covered under, her privilege because she's a defendant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yep. And I think the super mod's following us.
Uh-oh.
He's typing very informative comments in the chat for
Oh, I see now.
add to the conversation. So,
Okay.
all right. So that was like the first thing. The second thing was something that you brought up when you and I were discussing it, and that was like, first of all, can we agree that her complaint specifically says the amended complaint? It's not a fuck up. It's not a typo. There just might be a different way they're going about things. The other thing I wanted to mention was something that you addressed, and that was, let me just share this tab instead. The judge ruled the motion is allowed. This is her motion to extend. I can't remember what it was. The motion for July, rescheduled to July 14th because there's a conflict with her federal case. And he allowed it for July 14th. But the thing that you said that made me think too was that maybe this is the appropriate time where she argues the Terry Muir allegations are the same as the Aiden allegations, rather than putting it in the amended complaint, because I feel like the amended complaint does what it's supposed to do. It says everything's petitioning activity. Oval it.
Yeah.
That's what my kids used to say when they were little. Oval it. Oval everything. This is in the defamation case. Yes, Jabala, it is. So yeah, or Jay Bala, or is it just Jay? I'm going to call you Jay. How's that? I'm terrible with names in the chat. And now we've got the Reckless Ben people coming along. It's going to be gamer names, and I'm like, I just got to nickname everybody.
Oh no.
So if you're looking at this through the lens of this. Something that Bob said in his show the other day was the civil litigation is very different to criminal litigation. Like they're two very different beasts.
Yeah.
So, but that still doesn't. It doesn't mean that it's happening in a bubble. Like if we view this one single civil case in a vacuum, then I can see the nuance that our attorney friends are pointing out. So in a vacuum, and considering this judge's attitude, it does appear to be good litigation hygiene to address the plaintiff's arguments directly, like every single one of them, like you would in a 12B6 motion.
Yeah,
But
and at this stage, we're still at the pretrial stage, right? So
this
for
is the
example,
first. This is the very start. This is like they've just done their complaint. They amended their complaint, and she's replying. So it's right at the start. So
yeah. So to me, she could, if the judge, if they think that there needs to be more, detail with regard to the statements made with the Mueller, is it Mueller guy?
Muir, it's
Mueller,
Terry Muir.
Terry. Then surely they can ask the court for, for more time to detail that more.
If the court requires it, I don't see how.
Yeah.
I don't really see that it's required unless the court requires it, and he hasn't said he requires it. Like he does put notes on their, as you can see, he does put notes on their motions. If you wanted them to do something, you might have put a note on it on the motion like that.
Yeah.
But he
What
didn't,
are the
so.
what are the statements of defamation? Do we? I don't know. I can't remember them.
Do you want to look at that?
Yeah, let's look at that. Does everybody else want to look at that? Because I honestly can't remember what the exact statements were.
Hello, Strain's credulity. Yes, they hate they hate Turtle Boy on the dirt. Strain's credulity. Unfortunately, this judge will 100% find a way to rule against Karen Reid. He's clearly biased and playing semantic games and not being impartial in the treatment to both sides. I agree with that. And we are not alone. A lot of people are saying it. So
Yeah.
All right. So let's just before we move on to what is actually in those, I just wanted to focus in on what Strain's credulity is saying. Let's consider something other than litigation hygiene. I don't want to dismiss it because, these guys are experienced attorneys and they know far better than I do. But to consider the entire criminal and civil history as a whole and not in a vacuum, what we know about this case today is, starting with trial 1, Arnie Bev allowed Karen to use third-party corporate defense because that is the nexus which connects all of this together, including this defamation suit and Aiden's role in this defamation suit. The fact that she was given the opportunity to use the third-party corporate defense because there is that nexus. Bev couldn't, from an appeal perspective, Bev knew her hands were tied. She couldn't deny Karen that because Karen had clearly demonstrated the nexus required to meet that threshold of Massachusetts statute. I'm going to call it SODI because third-party corporate defense is a big fucking mouthful. SODI is an acronym. It stands for some other guy did it. Some other dude did it. So if only Bev ruled against her, it would most assuredly have been overturned at appeal. She knew that. So, and that was our first hint that Karen's team's posture from the outset has been preservation heavy, not necessarily procedurally heavy.
Right.
Just preserving the record. And you might remember many times Yannetti and Jackson arguing with Arnie Bev trying to get something preserved on the record that she was trying to keep off the record through trial 1. And then also interesting to note her little trick there about you can't speak the basis for your objections. You can only say objection. That
Yeah.
was so that she could keep off the record anything she needed plausible deniability for. That was specifically
Well,
it was specifically to hamper the appeal record so she could claim plausible deniability on anything. So Auntie Bev was well aware that Karen's team's posture was definitely preservation heavy. That's why she did that. So, and then in trial 2, every time Bob Alessi stood up, God bless his little soul, pulled out his multicolored tab binder that made me fall in love with him and began reading off all his receipts and citing the law. That was when we realized he was the official preservation guru for that second attempt to convict Karen Read, right?
right.
So when we look at it in a bubble, it's like, oh, procedurally, oh. But now when we're looking at the whole picture, we see they've never been procedural. They've always been preservation heavy. So in the civil cases, we're not in that vacuum now. We know that Karen's team, which also includes Alan Jackson, are going to be preservation heavy. And it's not just because they have had that posture previously, but also because she hasn't exactly had a fair trot. She seems to keep getting judges who think public interest is an affront to their courtroom process. And Uncle Bev's definitely one of those, right? For those who don't know, I'm referring to Judge Gilday. I'm calling him Uncle Bev for 2 reasons, because he's acting like an Uncle Bev. And we've all got BTSD. And also because I keep saying his name wrong, and Irish Outsider keeps getting upset with me for saying the name wrong. So it's Uncle
But
Bev.
I did think that him saying that he saw her on, what was it, Good Morning America or somewhere? Where was she on? Do you remember that?
Good Morning America?
Was it Good Morning America?
Today's Show. You're talking about the
Today
Today Show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's none of his business.
I can't believe that a judge would be, looking up things. How is he going to remain unbiased if he's looking up things on his own?
Who is Terry Muir? Sorry, enlarge the screen. I was just pointing out the orange bit on the screen, like just this bit here, like, wait, see that there's a hearing on July 14th, so we can discuss the whether or not some of this can be argued at the hearing. Let me just answer your question. Terry Muir do you remember the ID documentary on, is that Discovery Channel? Yeah. And it was called A Body in the Snow. That was Terry Muir. So she tagged along with Karen's team throughout, I think it was pre-trial and the beginning of trial 2, because she was making a documentary. Now, she told Karen, this documentary is so you can get your voice out there. And then she backstabbed her and gave everybody else their voices, who basically said she needs to grow up and take responsibility. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, she basically backstabbed Karen. That's my perspective, and I'm sticking to it. But so that's who Terry Muir is, and that's why the House defendants don't want to lump her in with the Turtle Boy, because they hate him. They like her. You see?
But I watched The Body in the Snow, and I didn't think anything Karen said was defamation.
Canoni made both sides pretty unhappy. I don't think so, Jay. Canoni, if you have been watching the sidebars, Canoni absolutely did everything she could to destroy Alan Jackson, including his fucking career. So that whole grave concerns bullshit, that was an attempt to destroy his career. That's what that was. So, and I
ended up doing a video with Ed Wallace, Crime Time with Duty Ron. So Ed Wallace came on my channel, and we did a video about Auntie Bev's grave concerns. And that's
Right.
pretty good. Yeah.
Total load of bullshit. She didn't have grade concerns. She just hated Jackson. And so Gilday is doing the same thing, like having a go at Jackson for going on the Today Show, having a go at Jackson on July 1st because he's ordered the entire fucking team into this hearing, some of them by Zoom, and now he's having a go at Jackson because on their Zoom hearing they're in the conference room with what? With Jackson's logo in the background. Like,
Yeah.
fucking grow
So we're
up.
told Irish Outsider says it's Gilday. Gilday.
Yes. And every time I see EA, I say Gildia. So I'm
So do
like,
we have to roll the L? Gil.
no, it's just Uncle Bev, all right?
Hey, you got to keep the chat happy.
Solved. Everyone's happy with Uncle Bev. And it's bloody rubbish, says Biffle. Biffle in the house, everybody. Yes, it
That's
is
funny how
bloody
our
rubbish.
names don't come up. I did write my name on my little picture, but
Oh, I didn't.
it's
Sorry. Hang
cropped
on.
out.
No, it's my fault. Hang on. I can fix it. Let's get your name back up. I knocked it out because we had the music up and
Oh, okay.
I forgot to add it back. Hang on. Where is it? Oh my God.
I don't know how
Screen
you.
names are on. What the fuck? Screen name. What? Oh. Share names. There we go. Now you can see. So Karen is, we can get Kerry to post that link again.
Oh, it's in white
One
because
step
of the
ahead of me.
background.
Kerry posted the link. Karen Cole, this is her channel. Karen Cole, UK lawyer. That's who my guest is, Miss.
Yeah, my channel's called Legal Minded Friends.
Thank you.
And all your swearing, it's funny. I watched Nurse Kim. I had it on while I was doing some things, and it was so funny because her screen went dark. You know, the first part that she plays where Federer is saying the F word and he says, "Oh, I shouldn't say the F word." And then he starts saying it again. Well, it went black. And in England, we're having so many governmental, restrictions. I thought, oh my God, it's happening. They're blackening out every time somebody says the F word.
Right.
But it was her screen, right? And I thought, oh, we're gonna end up only being able to say the F word like once a day.
Right.
Choose which time to use it would be the worry. Anyway, yeah. So
Yeah.
so
can
Ozzy
we
says the
agree?
F
Can
word.
we all agree that Karen is talking about the amended complaint here? Can we agree on that much at least?
Yeah, well, we don't have to agree. The judge does.
Well, that's right. Harley, thanks for joining us. So I don't necessarily agree that Karen Reid's team fucked up. I think they're looking at this from an appeals heavy kind of perspective. So when you look at it from that perspective, if the judge says no because the Terry Muir allegations are not petitioning activity.
How can they not? Yeah, that's bizarre. Of course they're petitioning act, if you think about it that way, right? She's trying to get awareness.
Right. Even if he says, oh, procedurally, this is incorrect because you didn't address that, it's still an error in law, right?
Yeah, and this is when I said to you about the Baldoni case. Certainly the judge could just say, okay, well, we'll throw out the rest of them and these other ones will have to be argued at trial.
Right.
And
Right.
hopefully they'll.
But even if he does that, it's still an error in law. For the benefit of the audience, you can't appeal unless the judge has made an error in law. There's no way to make an appeal unless you're pointing out that the judge made an error. You can't go, well, he's being biased or he's ruled against us 10 times and only twice against them. None of that counts.
Like Corey Richens.
Right, like Corey Richens. And who else? I'm pretty sure, what's her name, did it as well. Laurie Ballo.
Oh, Bella.
Yeah, the judge hates me. Those don't work in
Well,
appeals.
I think if there's an accumulation of different, times the court has discretion, and they're always using the discretion that doesn't help the defense, or
Yeah.
there's a lot of them, then I think, appeals court can say. I did read a case where the court said, I read an appeals case where they did say that they were, the judge used his discretion, or I think it was a lady judge, to so much that it did, it did not help the defendant. It made it harder, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that case was something about, they didn't allow the defendant. It was an M case, and the woman had gone away for the weekend or something, and they didn't allow her to put that evidence in. And they said, well, why not? Right. Like, and the judge had the discretion to, and so these kind of little errors or little, bad decisions that give a defense a disadvantage, right?
Right, but you still need to have that error in law to bring it to the appeals, and then you can pile on with all the other stuff.
Yeah, to get it dismissed. Like you'll want that, but with Corey Richards, I think she's saying that the judge made a whole bunch of decisions that helped the prosecutor.
Even judicial abuse is still it's still his discretion. Even that you can't get into appeals with. You still have to have the error in law to get in the door. Sorry, I'm talking to Kelly here.
An Aussie or Irish outsider.
Yeah.
We the judicial abuse discretion, but I mean, everybody's supposed to be on an even playing field during a trial, right? That's the whole.
He's supposed to be even Stevens. He's not supposed to be playing. So
arbitrator.
While we're on that topic, because a couple of people have raised it now, I'm just going to quickly switch to this screen, and I'm going to tell you what I think of this garbage.
Okay.
So this was to do with, he said that the parties, July 1st, he said the parties have to come to an agreement, right?
Hey, I'm bringing you outside with me because Ziggy has to go.
All right. He basically accused Karen's team of doing this leak, all right? And from his perspective, he's not sitting there going, somebody leaked and it's going to be Proctor's team. Like, hello, he's not saying that. He might not have said outright Karen's team leaked, but that's what he was getting at, right? He was accusing her of leaking.
It's an insinuation.
It's an insinuation. So when she replied to that, she sent a July 1st one saying that had been out since June 6th, like long before he impounded everything. Then she sent a couple of days later another one saying, and besides which, that's just totally wrong because the timestamp's wrong. So I was very pleased she got that message. I'm pretty sure that was from me because I tried my best to make it go viral.
Oh, your video was excellent on explaining how, the different time zones and everything and how you can manipulate it.
I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard. She could have just worked it out for herself because she's a smart cookie. But I did try to make it go viral so they knew.
Yeah. No, I'll pat your back. That was brilliant.
But so what he's replying here to the two motions that she put forward, and he's refusing to docket them, basically. He's saying the motion misstates what I said. Get this.
Oh, yeah.
It's so funny. The motion misstates what I said. What I said was orders of the court have been violated either directly or at the very least in spirit. I did not say what is stated in the motion, that an attorney with an appearance in this case had violated the letter of the spirit of the rule.
Yeah. He's he was going for the exact thing he said, even though
semantics, buddy. You said basically Karen's team did that. But here's the point that I'm trying to make out of all of this. How can he preside over the defamation case where the actual basis of that case is that Karen and Carney are conspiring, while he's over here in the wrongful death case going,
Conspire.
Karen and Carney are conspiring. He's sold on it.
Yeah.
And what pissed me off about this was that he was like, all right, I take it on board what you said, but there's still this June 25th post on X, and so that doesn't allay my concerns. And I'm like, way to go, fucking moving the goalpost, buddy. Like, it's not even backtracking. It's saying, but this post on the 25th, someone leaked that to Carney. It's like he's buying into the Karen Reid is leaking to Carney, but he's the judge over the defamation case accusing Karen Reid of leaking to Carney. He's showing that he's already made a decision. That
But
Karen
isn't he, first of all, isn't it a jury trial? So would he be making the decision?
These are all
Yeah.
jury trials.
So if
But
in some ways,
you can't have a biased judge who's already made a decision that Carney and Karen are colluding. You can't have him sitting on the same case where that's the accusation.
yeah. So if he's making these assumptions before even seeing the evidence
in the wrongful death case, right?
Then
How can he be the judge? I wrote, Uncle Bev, how do you say I created an appearance that I formed views on contested issues common to both proceedings without actually saying it? Easy, just move the goalpost to say it louder. So I don't think he's actually helped himself here. He's just made it louder, right? He can render a default judgment against Karen or Aiden, right? If he's truly biased, he can just render it. He can just go, well, since you've been doing this in the wrongful death case, I'm just ruling against both of you. So, senility hubris judge. Excuse me. Karen, take the floor for a sec while I cough my brains out.
Oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So I think the whole point there is we're seeing the judge being very, biased, and he is making statements, and through his, sorry, I'm just going back inside. So he is making statements that are affecting the process, isn't he? Let me see. Just sorry. Okay,
Yes,
getting back in.
In both cases. So
Yeah.
he's showing that he's already, he's already formed the views on that contested issue in the other case. So
Well, he's being harder on them, right? He's being more meticulous. He's stating things in open court, that like, just all the things that he states. Like, I think he said to,
it's Karen's right. This is what pissed me off about the whole Today Show thing, besides the fact that it's her right to speak to whoever the fuck she wants to. The thing that pissed me off about it was that he's acting like Proctor had no foreknowledge that she had to sue in the civil court against Town of Canton and MSP. But that all started in his fucking court.
In his court. Well, we have, is it master criminology? He can render a default judgment against Karen or Aiden. And I think the other side, isn't that one of the complaints lawyer, weren't they Alex Jones's lawyer, and they got a default judgment, but that was only because Alex Jones didn't
I don't want to talk about Alex Jones. Everyone argues back and forth about that.
Yeah. Okay, but I think the same solicitor is trying to make sort of the same arguments to try to get a default judgment.
Correct. Right? That's what all that email exchange was. Like, Karen has to waive all her rights or else we're going to file a default, which they did. They did try to default her. It's like,
and if the judge does go with a default, well, that's appealable if it shouldn't have been.
Right.
The wrong decision.
Because she is participating.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm thinking here is that if she's looking at this the way I'm looking at this, he's already taken this position that, you know, she and Carney are guilty of this thing that the defamation thing is claiming. Then over there in the defamation case, she's not trying to litigate hygienically. She's just trying to get this judge to show his hand, and his hand's going to be knock back her. Let me switch back to it again.
Confidence.
Knock back her anti-slap, which is going to be an error in law, and bam, she's got herself an appeal straight up. That's straight to interlocutory appeal, isn't it?
Well, you would think, yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking. But the question, I guess, that I wanted to throw around was, does not acknowledging the plaintiff's artificial subcategories, that Terry Muir is somehow a different kettle of fish to Aiden, necessarily weaken the anti-slap motion? It might, if this was a straight out motion to dismiss under Rule 12B, but that's not what this is. This is an anti-slap motion, and this puts the burden back on the plaintiffs under anti-slap. Or can an argument be made for preservation rather than, you know, playing the subcategorization game?
Yeah. And an interlocutory would be an intermediate decision, wouldn't it? So is that
everything would go on hold?
Yeah.
There would be nothing. There'd be no depots, no discovery. Everything would go on hold until they get a decision.
Decide. Yeah. And that's the way I think it should be.
If you do an interlocutory appeal because he doesn't rule on the statute, anti-slap statute, and he rules on some procedural bullshit, that's your error in law to get your interlocutory appeal. Then you can say, we don't want this judge to be to be presiding over the defamation case, because he's clearly showing he thinks that Karen's team is colluding with Aiden.
Yeah.
They can now add that to that interlocutory appeal, can't they?
Yeah, so that he can at least make a decision on which way they're going to go. Are they going to say some of them count as,
This is where we need an American lawyer to tell us, like, do they have to ask him to recuse himself first to be able to put that into their interlocutory appeal?
Well, they probably should, just to get it in there so that they preserve their right. Right? If they don't ask him.
Right, Jabala. Jay, he can narrow it without dismissing it, but the only things he can narrow it around is her actual right to petition. Because that's all they have attacked her for, her actual right to petition. But don't forget, the things that she has said about the House defendants have a nexus. They're not just pie in the sky, she invented them. And the reason you know that is because the trial judge twice already gave her permission to have the Soddy defense. In the second trial, she said, not Colin, but you can have it. But in the first trial, she just across the board, yes, you can have the third party culprit defense because there's a nexus. So she was never going to rule that they could have it if their nexus was weak. Look at Richard Allen's. You know, his nexus was truly weak. And even when it got to the appeal stage, they thought it was weak too. But they gave him his lawyers back and, you know, a few things to fix the problem. But at the same time, they took away some of his rights as well. Like, you can't say that your lawyers that we're about to give you back were...
That case was just terrible. I didn't like that judge at all. Yeah, so the interlocutory appeal, we've got Irish Outsider giving us filed before the final judgment of a case has been reached instead of waiting for the trial to end and ask for a higher. Okay, so I just want to add to that. it's temporary and provisional to resolve an immediate decision and not
An
waiting.
immediate error in law.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
waiting.
And it's very extreme too. So is recusing the judge that you've got. So they're both very extreme measures. And I'm an extreme person. Like, I get it that Bob and Ali are experienced lawyers and they don't get too bothered by things, but I'm an extreme person. By this stage, I'd be taking heads off. If I
Yeah.
was- So I'm actually very patient with a lot of things, but this is one thing I probably wouldn't be this patient with. So, but
Yeah, but
anyway.
sometimes you could say too, if a judge is hard on you at this stage, right, then it makes you start getting stronger in your defense, right? You start going into more detail and making
Right,
your
and that's why I don't think they give a shit about litigation hygiene right now. I think she's been through 4 years of this bullshit. She's past litigation hygiene. They're not playing anymore. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah
Didn't
interlockness
Melanie Little
appeal.
say judge should recuse himself? I think you meant recuse himself because he's a co-defendant in another open case. No, but that wasn't actually a real case. That was just someone. It's not an open case. It's been closed twice now. It's been dismissed twice. But that was just someone like one of those. What do you call those? Sovereign citizens just suing
Oh my
fucking
God.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's all that was. I got to the bottom of it. I didn't do it. I found all the paperwork. I read it all. It's like thousands of pages of bullshit.
Mhm.
But that's what it is. It's like a sovereign citizen who's actually going around right now on X, and he was on Will's channel the other day accusing everyone of being like FBI informants and fucking CIA agents and all this
Yeah.
shit.
But
He's
don't you
actually a
think that
nutcase.
judge is Gilday is very similar to Auntie Bev in that it appears because AJ is from California, a big shot attorney, you know, they're trying to make fun of him and
Who
and
litigates publicly.
yeah,
Like,
and bring him down a notch, you know. Well, you're in my town now, like a sheriff would. You're in my town now, right? So
right. Right. So I here's what I think at this point. I think let the judge bury himself. Let him make some stupid ruling that has nothing to do with the anti-slap motion.
yeah,
Turtle Boy's complaint actually gives you all of the. I'm not going to say Karen Reed didn't. She did for because it's two different perspectives, right? For her,
right.
she's actually the defendant. She has a right to talk about her case, especially the third party defense theory that they put forward in the first trial and were planning to put forward in the second trial, or at least bluffing that they were going to in the second trial.
Yeah.
So that that puts her in a different category. Turtle Boys goes to a complete other extreme where I should pull it up. Like you had to hear Melanie read it because she did such a good job
Oh,
of it.
I didn't hear Melanie read it. Yeah, Melanie's excellent at reading these.
Oh shit, I don't have it. Oh shit, I don't actually have it on my screen. Sorry guys, I didn't download it. But so I can just sort of summarize the TB situation because he's in the same class as Terry Muros. Okay, so he's also a journalist. Okay, he's not a tabloid, corporate journalist, but he's definitely a tabloid journalist. All right.
And he's a journalist with satire, and you know.
Right. That's generally what tabloid covers. Like, I'm going to stick my camera in your face and ask you stupid questions, or at least ask you pointed.
The old fashioned way of doing, you know.
Right. Right. So
Yeah, interview.
he's also an activist, and in his activism, like he has some major like players who have put in affidavits for him, like people on the town select board. They say he played a major role, Rita Lombardi was one of
Oh
them.
yeah. Yeah,
That
he was
he played.
instrumental in making changes, and everyone did get fired, and everyone, no. So,
Correct. All the people he wanted fired, most of them are all fired, and he got the police. He got them motivated for the police audit and all that sort of stuff. So, by their own claims against him, he was successful at it because all the pink people and the protests and everything in their claim about that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So,
Well,
I
that's
wanted.
good that he's got that, you know.
Yeah, his complaint's great, but it also cites a lot of law where if the judge does overturn this, there's a lot of SJC rulings that say your process, your procedural crap means nothing because this is all protected regardless. So JC wants a meme where the Scooby-Doo gang unmasks Judge Gilday and it turns out to be Auntie Bev.
Oh,
Good on
yeah.
you.
Like that actor in The Mask, or remember, what was he? And he pulls
The
off the
Mask.
mask.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh,
I can't think of his name.
yeah,
The Mask, yeah.
yeah.
From the movie The Mask. What is his fucking name? Fell out
All
of my
right.
head.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do we want to read, guys? Do we want to read the rest of Karen's complaint, or do we want to point out all the places where the housos are Jim Carrey? Thank you, guys.
Jim Carrey.
Us old people up here with the empty memory.
Yeah, I want to know what they, because I did watch Body in the Snow, and I want to know what exactly they're saying is defamatory.
Well, I actually do have. Let me have a look. I've got the transcript for it, but the thing with that is,
Can you just do a word search?
yes, I'm going to show you. It's not in there, but so here's the Body in the Snow transcript, and I'll do a search, but we've got to go to theirs. Let me just see that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yep, you are. Cool. It's switching pages. So let me go and the defamation. All right. Here's the housos, okay? This is the housos complaint. They're saying Karen should be denied at the threshold because it is not directed to the operative complaint. But guess what? Here it is. Amended complaint. Where was I? Plaintiffs, the housos, filed the first amended complaint on June the 5th, adding detailed allegations concerning Reid's defamatory statements and conduct, including statements Reid personally made during the recorded interviews with Terry Dunmura and her production team. Reid's motion, nevertheless, is directed to the inoperative superseded pleading. No, it's not. It says amended complaint, plain as day, guys. It uses the former Barnstable caption. It does. Special motion to dismiss. No, it doesn't. Where's the Barnstable? Look, Plymouth. So, nope, it doesn't. Caption and cites obsolete paragraphs and count numbers and fails entirely to address the amended complaint's new allegations. Contrary to Reid's anticipated position on this issue, that defect is not cosmetic. Reid's procedural and substantive misfire matters because the Mura allegations, wherein Reid accused plaintiffs of being first-degree murderers. So I just took murderers and did a search on that in the ID docuseries, and there's nothing. Zero. So
Yeah, I don't remember her accusing them of I think I do think in the police station, remember, she says we all know what happened, and that got played in court as well.
Yeah, but that wasn't her that played it in court. That was
No, that was Bev and the
yeah,
prosecutor.
yeah, that wasn't her
Of
that played it in
allowing it.
court. So what I think they're referring to, remember in trial 2, they said Hanky Panky wanted the entire transcript, including what they cut and dropped on the cutting room floor.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's where I think it might be. Or it wasn't said at all. Because, like, more often than not, shit they're saying Aidan Carney said is completely out of context, or he hasn't said it at all. You know, they claim people rang me and threatened me. Well, we see no actual evidence of that. So I don't know if it's true or not. So
Yeah, but doesn't a defamation statement have to be made public? So I don't know how they're.
Could that be the nuance? But no, that can't even be the nuance that everyone else is picking out, because there was a lot of things she said to Aidan that weren't public. They were just between her and him and her. So
yeah,
I don't think that.
Well, that's maybe the conspiring part, right? That she was trying to say, look at this is what we were.
If they're going to say that's conspiring, she said the same things to Terry Muir. So
yeah,
it doesn't
that's not
really
defamation.
Yeah, it doesn't really rule them apart. But here's the beautiful thing about all of it, is that they don't have to deny that they said any of these things. Neither of them do. And neither of them try to. They're like,
because their intent wasn't malicious. It was,
their intent was petitioning.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's because of the bad investigation and the cover-ups and what the House defendants said themselves. That would make anybody wonder, well, what are you trying to hide?
There's also a thing about the plaintiffs as a group being first-degree murderers. She wouldn't have said that. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have said that. I'm pretty sure what she would have said is Brian, Higgins, and perhaps Colin, but not all of the plaintiffs as a group. And participants in John O'Keefe's killing.
But if you think about it, if she's just saying something happened in that house and it could be all of them, then it's not defamation, because you're not saying it's actually one person.
Yes, right? And they do actually make that point in her.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get back to that.
I'm making coffee, so I'm going to go mute for a minute.
All right.
When the kettle whistles. Anybody else want a coffee?
2. I'll have 2 things.
Okay. Double shots.
Moccalata, chocolate, or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
with double cream. No, I'm just joking.
I was just getting the cream out. Okay.
Katie said to anyone is enough to support the charge of defamation. It doesn't have to be published. I think that is I remember seeing, I think it might have been Corey Hopkins say that it it could be just said to one person under Massachusetts. So check Discord. What's going on Discord?
Yeah, I want to look that up. It can only be said, my understanding is it always has to be made public. And yeah, let's look that up.
What am I checking in Discord? Oh, okay. I got just make sure you're not broadcasting into the ether again for an hour. Good on you. All right, I'll share it, Kevy. There you go. Just for JC. Special for JC. All right. Plus, everyone has a right to assemble and speak to each other, especially to discuss public matters. That's correct, JC. She said they should have been suspects. yes, then it's true. We all say that too, Jay. The same exact thing Karen did was the same thing the Housos did when they went to the press and the media and petitioned that Karen was a killer. Right. How is that not defamation using their playbook? Exactly. So the Housos are also 100% protected speech, not just because of petitioning, but because it was their witness testimony. And Karen using the third party defense in her criminal case is also partly, her defense in that case. That is also 100% protected. So not only does Gildia have to overcome the anti-slap part, which is the petitioning activity, but he also has to overcome the 100% immunity that she's got because that was her defense in the criminal cases. So there's two things. For him to even narrow it down, he has to get over those two hurdles.
Yeah. Yeah, so it does say defamation, a defamatory statement just said to a third-party individual does constitute publication. And I know if it's said over a phone or in a text in England, that would be public. So yeah, in defamation law, publication simply means communicating the statement to anyone other than the person making it. And
JC, you're right. You're right, JC. Their entire response so far has been, I know you are, but what am I? I totally agree. Even the arguments between the lawyers is like that. It's childish. It's like crazy. Defamation requires a statement to be published from what I found on the internet.
Yeah, so the
that's only in some states, Norfolk,
yeah,
tyranny.
It's slander, right? It's the other side of the defamation, and the statement must be communicated at least to one person other than the claimant.
And it's malicious if it's knowingly false.
Damage to the reputation. Communication must be lower. Okay, it must cause serious harm. The defense is
said over a phone. Is that because the government there records everything?
Yeah, well, because the phone is considered a public. It's public. Yeah. So okay. So defenses are obviously truth, honest opinion. Well, she's a defendant, and that's her honest opinion. Yeah. And public interests are valid defenses,
right?
Regardless of who hears them. So yeah, I just don't get how anything she said is defamation or slander.
Right. So I know it was page 9 as well. Let me just finish this. Are you on the same screen? Let me just check. You're all on the same. Yep, cool. Let me just have a quick squeeze at my notes because I had all the pages listed here. So anyway, the statements that she made to Terry Muir are now central to plaintiff's direct defamation claim against her and to plaintiff's theory that Reid knowingly participated in a coordinated campaign to destroy plaintiff's reputations. A motion that ignores the operative pleading cannot carry Reid's burden under either Mass 12b6 or the anti-SLAPP statute. See, and I don't think that's correct. I have been reading up about the anti-SLAPP statute, and it absolutely is protected speech. So only if it's false or doesn't have a legal basis does it not meet the anti-SLAPP statute. And Karen's not saying anything she said was false, and neither is Turtle Boy. They're owning up to every fucking bit of it. On the merits, the amended complaint alleges a straightforward and deeply damaging course of conduct. So one of the things to overcome Karen's absolute immunity to what she to her defense in the criminal trial, to overcome that, they add this conspiracy element. So if the conspiracy and the things that were said out of court amount to the defamation, then this is how they're getting around her absolute immunity to what her actual defense was. However, whilst that is one way around it to get the defamation filed, it's not the way around it to actually win against anti-slap, because she was doing those things in furtherance of
Yeah.
her defense in the criminal trial.
And even if it goes to a trial, right? How are the House defendants or claimants going to prove that they were damaged by it?
I have no idea. There's a lot of issues.
I mean, even they say they got phone calls and harassment, but you have to have proof of that, you would have thought.
Yeah, I don't think they've got proof of anything. If at all they do, it's shit they made up. Like, you know, the whole B threat when they had their little shindig the other night. That was bullshit. Someone on their side did like teed all that up, and they did it to themselves. I did not believe for 1 second anyone in the Karen Reid movement did that.
Yeah.
Aaron and Aiden were able to flip the script, since they are claiming every bit of what they said. Now the Housos have to show how the statements are false. Right, so that's where I don't think Karen and Aiden have flipped the script. Anti-slap flips the script that they have to prove it.
Yeah.
So,
and I find it, so with American law, it's exactly kind of the opposite. Like it's switched around to UK. So getting my head around, in the UK, the person making the claim has to prove that it's defamation, right? They're the ones that have to prove it. They have the burden to say that it was, right?
Right. Yes, Emmy, you're right. He's certainly showing his bias. Yes, yeah, Karen, I think that that's what is bugging the Housos right now, is that they're trying their best. They're trying the default, they're trying everything, but nothing's working because they haven't really moved the burden back to her with anything that they've claimed so far.
Yeah, and if you watch the what was it, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case in England, she had the burden to prove that the news media, the tabloid, defamed her, right? Slandered her and defamed her. So right now, the way it stands, Karen has to prove that she didn't do it, right? In American law, unless the anti-slap kicks in, and then it gets dismissed.
Right. Here's another concept too. Because they're suing Karen and Aiden together, Aiden's lawsuit goes into way more detail, not because he's trying to address every allegation, but because, you know, Turtle Boy, he likes his successes and prattles on about all his successes there.
Yeah.
So he goes into a lot of detail about, you know, all of the positive changes that he's had in the community because of his activism and getting people involved and listening and hearing the case. And
oh yeah, I did see Turtle Boy's show when he did you know, showing the history of activism, right?
Right.
And that's how changes get made.
Exactly. And so even though her things from the defendant's side, hers is supplementary to his. He goes into the great detail of everything, why they said what they said. Karen gives the background because I'm a defendant, I'm not fucking allowed to.
Yeah, exactly.
So together they're a very strong argument. So,
and they have a lot of Turtle Boy has a lot of informants, right? So he comes with receipts, right?
Right. So I don't necessarily believe that her reply is somehow separate and nothing to do with his reply. I feel like they're both seen together, or they both should be seen together as a joint reply. Hers is, I'm the defendant, and Turtle Boy's, here's what I did. Do you follow
Yeah.
what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
both being sued. They're both replying and expecting Karen to be as detailed as Turtle Boy is.
Well, if you think of
It,
a class action suit, right? You can sue many people, and they're individual, even though you're suing them all together.
right, but as a
So they would
whole,
each,
all of their replies are considered as a whole. So here's my point, because
well, they're
they
gonna,
are
yeah, definitely, they're gonna be. And wasn't there was a good movie to watch on that sort of thing with Sandra Bullock, and I think she was a lawyer, and um, there was a lot of defendants, right?
yeah,
So
I lost what I
but
was going to say
they
about being
joined.
together.
They what I'm trying to say is uh, add on to what you're saying. They joined together to be
Right.
defendants, whereas Karen and Turtle Boy are still separate, even though they've been sued.
They've been sued and joined
As
that way. If
yeah,
they had sued Karen, and if they had sued Karen completely separately to Aiden, they might have a point here.
yeah,
Because they haven't sued them separately, their connected stories make the whole story. She played far less of a role than he
mhm,
did in the activism. She played a, I need my story out there, and he's the conduit to do that. Same with Terry Muir. She's the conduit to do that. So that's the role she played. And then his story is that this is what we did with it. It's the connecting thread between the two of them.
yeah. And a conspiracy takes, takes one or more people to put something together, right? That is illegal, right? That
And
they
that
know
enjoins them
they,
as well. That enjoins them as well. Their arguments have to be seen as together,
yeah,
because it's a conspiracy complaint. So
right. So whereas if let's say she gave him information and he went forward with it, and it was completely bad information, right? She's trying to in furtherance her defense or something, right? Or get information out there that isn't true, then they might have a point with that. But I think everything came out in the trial that was said.
I just don't see how Gilday can rule on this without screwing it up. He can come
Yeah.
at it procedurally and go, well, you didn't, like these guys are saying, you didn't address everything, but that's a procedural like quirk. That's not anti-slap. He's not ruling on the anti-slap there. He can't even narrow it down, because she's not denying she did any of those things. She's saying I did them. So is Turtle Boy. He's admitting to every single one of them.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they're saying, but it was in
It's an opinion,
it
and
was in furtherance of petitioning activity.
yeah,
So
yeah, and it's an opinion, and it's a true belief, and they believe the evidence will show that what they were saying is true.
correct. Sorry, I'm just having a chug on the coffee.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so I mean, I just don't. I mean, I saw the evidence in court with my own eyes, and there's just too much going on that night to say that they didn't know something.
Mm. So I'll just go on here. They're saying most significantly throughout the amended complaint. Although the amended complaint alleges the first time Reed's direct statements to Muir in paragraphs 91 to 99, Reed's motion does not include those statements in its description of the defamatory statements at issue, and does not argue why those allegations fail under Rule 12b-6 or the anti-slap statute. Now let's go to Reed's, because she does. In hers, she says, it's here. The anti-slap statute, like this is as opposed to, hang on, she makes a distinction between the two. No, it's pursuant to that one, but she actually makes a distinction. Unlike a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim under 12b6, a court faced with an anti-slap motion, which is a different thing,
Yeah.
only has to consider supporting and opposing affidavits stating the facts upon which the liability or the defense is based. So they're two separate things. So she has, and then she says about all of them. Here, Ms. Reed sets forth the following facts drawn from the allegations of the plaintiff and the exhibits herewith. Hang on, I think it might have been back here. Here, as explained below, the anti-slap requires dismissal of all of the plaintiffs, all of them.
Yeah. So that's the encompassing, right? That's the overall.
Right. So saying that she's not addressed it is incorrect. It's procedurally correct because she didn't say paragraphs 191 to 99, but she has addressed it because all of it is petitioning activity.
Yeah, like I was telling you, when we respond to witness statements or statements, and we have to address each and every one of them and every paragraph, and we have to say admitted, denied, and here's the reason why, and if we don't, well, that the court could assume that we've agreed with it, right? That we don't take issue with it. And then in the trial, we would then address that. Why don't you take issue with it? Because I've got a defense,
Well,
it's my opinion.
This is where I left the conversation, the last point in my little bullet points here. The July 14th hearing for all of this, isn't that the place to argue this out? Like, she doesn't have to put it in her complaint. She can argue it out. No, I don't need to put it in
her
complaint
response.
because it's petitioning.
In her response, you mean? Oh, you mean her...
On the 14th, they've got a hearing for all of these matters.
For the motion to dismiss.
For the motion to dismiss. They got a hearing on the...
Based on the anti-slap.
Based on the anti-slap, yes.
Yeah.
So that's where I think they're going to argue it. I don't think they needed to put it in there. They didn't... I don't feel like this is a standard 12b6 motion to dismiss. This is actually an anti-slap motion, which is a different thing, and so they don't need to address it all.
Yeah, so the 12b6 dismiss on the basis that a claim has not stated plausible cause of action. So they're saying that, what she said isn't a plausible cause for action, and we ask for, in the UK we would say strike it out. There's no legal
She's
basis.
not claiming that. Like, go back to the start.
But that's the whole point about asking for a dismissal in the first place, isn't it? To say there's no legal basis of their claim. There's no legal basis for their claim.
She hasn't said they haven't made a valid claim. She hasn't said that in hers.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying it doesn't matter if it's valid or not because she's protected.
Right. And you're reading Turtle Boys right now, right?
No, this is Reed's. This one's Reed's.
Okay.
I'm just looking to see if she's saying the plaintiffs have failed to make which is the 12b6 rule.
Yeah.
She hasn't said that. She's not saying that they failed. What is it that they said? That most significantly, the 96 degrees motion does not include in those statements the defamatory statements at issue. Does not argue why the allegations fail. The rule 12b6, and as you just read, the rule 12b6 is they haven't made a valid claim yet. she's not arguing that in hers. She's straight into everything's protected.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like a lot of people who are just like in automatic lawyer mode are not getting the nuances between a slap and an anti-slap and a
Well,
12b6.
but some statements can be protected, right? But some if they've got like hurt feelings and all of this sort of stuff, and you know, it's affected their economic ability to, to function in life and everything else, yada yada. So then, even though something is allowed, how can they prove that what's allowed? I suppose they'd have to say something like it was accumulative and that's why. So even though it's allowed, it was outrageous. But I still think it has to be more than outrageous. It's a higher bar, isn't it?
Look, if it was outrageous, only Bev wouldn't have allowed it.
The
third party thing, she would never have allowed it if it was outrageous and unfounded.
Yeah.
He
I just
has
don't
to
know. I
consider.
mean, we have to try to think of what they're thinking, right?
I can see what they're thinking. Just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
Because she's not even claiming a 12b6. She's literally separated them in hers, saying no, the 12b6 is not the same thing here.
Yeah, and to me, it can't be malicious if it's an honest opinion, right?
It doesn't even have to be an opinion. It was what she pleaded in her criminal case. It's 100% protected. It's protected both ways. The petitioning activity telling Turtle Boy and Terry Muir, that's protected. But the thing that she used as her defense in trial 1 and trial 2, that's also 100% immunity protected.
Yeah.
So,
and that was and you just looked and you couldn't find anything in the body of the snow, right? So we're thinking it was in the notes somehow or in the private conversations.
just in, when they put a documentary together, they clip bits out and chuck them on the floor, so to speak. I don't think they actually.
Yeah, well, you still have to have the context of everything like that, right?
They kept the clips, and then Hank Brennan subpoenaed them for all the clips. That's where I think it could be, if at all it exists.
Did they ever get the clips, or did they refuse because media is not protected? And
no, I think he got everything. Bev gave him everything that he wanted. And I think that Terry Muir did say, I don't remember if it was her specifically. I think Terry Muir had a lawyer go in there and say, no, we don't have to because of blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And
because they were based in New York, weren't they?
And Bev went, too bad, so sad, you got to hand it over anyway. And then Brennan tried to use them in the breaks and stuff like.
Oh, yeah. That was hilarious. That only made it look worse because it was so out of context. If you play something for 3 seconds, it only makes, as a viewer, me, right, saying, well, why did she say that, right? And if you don't give me the why, then I would dismiss it as a juror.
Yeah. That's exactly it. I think the jury, I don't think Karen ever said anything in any of those clips that was worth worrying about. That's why they
allowed it. They didn't fight it, right?
They didn't fight it, right? They stipulated, yeah, you can use that. We're not going to argue with you, because it was all good for her. It was her talking about her experience of what happened, what could have happened, where did I doubt myself, like just normal stuff that humans fucking do, you know, unlike Jen McCabe.
Yeah, and I will never get why one of them didn't stay at the house with a child being home. Like, why did Carrie have to go, for example? So I think, something wasn't right.
So I think we flogged that one to death. We're ready to move on.
Yes,
Let
we
me
are.
just say that when I was on that mission, I fell down a fucking rabbit hole. It's always a rabbit hole, man. There's always one waiting for me. It's like, you walk along the street and there's a manhole open,
Yeah.
and you go bloop inside the hole. I just threw, I just threw shit everywhere. But yeah, so the rabbit hole that I fell down was like, how the fuck did Gildy get the defamation case? It started in the Barnstable court, okay, and that is the proper jurisdiction for it because they're all over there in Barnstable. But that was a proper jurisdiction for it for them to file it. So it was in the correct court. None of the parties moved to what's the word I'm looking for? Change the location. What's it called?
Oh, when you move the court?
When you move it to another court, it's got a name. I don't know
Yeah.
why it's fucking not in my head, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nobody moved for that.
They're still
So
waiting for that in
change of
in
venue.
Murdoch. Change of venue. They're still waiting for in Murdoch for the courts to decide that.
Yeah. So nobody moved for a change of venue. It was in the correct court. Yet somehow, just miraculously, poof, it turns up on Judge Gilday's docket. How the fuck did that happen? So I was like, all right, what if Auntie Bev's still like the Raj at that court? So I went looking to see where Auntie Bev is, and I couldn't find anything that told us where Auntie Bev is. So I put out a notice to everybody, netizens, go find Auntie Bev. And this absolute super trooper, let me find it.
Hey, thanks, chat. Chat is excellent because we get brain farts and it's on the tip of your tongue, and it's like, what the hell is it called? I know this.
Yep. Let me find who it was. Deanne Thomas. It was, and she came up with the goods, like all the goods. Excuse me. Sorry, ears. Here we go. Where is it? The reason you can't find it. Yeah. We know that. Where's the rest of it? Judge assignments will run from July 6th through to July 31st. And she is assigned to room 5 in Brockton. Every morning the court places a physical paper printout of that day's schedule. That's how she got it. Good on ya. Super bloody snooper is what she is. Okay, so the judge assignments. Let me get this on the screen for you. So I still think she did it. Is the bottom one. She was in Plymouth when it got put on his desk. That's who I think done it. No, it's not a window, it's a Chrome tab.
Well, I just know our courts get randomly applied, or
Yeah.
that. And it's so frustrating because we could have a different judge all the time. And
Right.
so if they set a certain judge, maybe they thought, well, this guy isn't as busy and he's got a good temperament.
He's on a criminal docket. He's actually not on a he's not on a
criminal.
He's not on a civil docket. He's on criminal right now. But here's
Right.
the thing. If you're just looking at this in a vacuum, then yes, Massachusetts will automatically assign it to him because he's already got the other case, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking at it in a vacuum. But we are not looking at shit in a vacuum anymore, are we? We are like 4 years down the track of this bullshit, and we know Bev's behind it.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they didn't join the cases. It would be so much easier because you could easily have, a verdict form.
The defamation with the wrongful death.
Yeah.
I they're two completely different claims, but in different
They're,
plaintiffs
they're different arguments, and maybe it's too confusing for a jury.
and different plaintiffs as well. It's I think that would be a bad idea. But as far as Karen trying to argue the defense that she's trying to argue, that should have been joined. It should have been joined to the wrongful death, and it should be joined to she shouldn't be in the federal court fighting this. They did that on
Right.
purpose.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They did that on purpose so that she was fighting on multiple fronts. And even the defamation case was that warfare, like that lawfare kind of attitude. So they got the wrongful death split into 3 cases. The wrongful death, the Section 1983 in the federal court, but because she couldn't sue Town of Canton and MSP in the federal court, she has to do that one separately back in the civil court. So that broke the wrongful death into 3 separate cases, and then they just piled on with the defamation case.
I think the original, with that original judge, they were trying to get those 2 merged, weren't they?
Right. This vacuum has so many cubes it might as well be a television from the 50s. Yeah, I think you mean tubes. Vacuum tubes. It might as well be a television from the 50s. Sorry, pork chop said that. So this is the assignments right now. So Kanoni's in Brockton, but because she's Raj, because she's a regional administrative judge, she does get a say over some assignments. So if she was to step in and say to the current Raj, I think they've changed the Raj for that Plymouth court, but if she was just whispering in their ear, then they'd be like, oh yeah, we'll do that for you. Like, I'm not saying any of this is proven or true. I'm just saying I fell down a rabbit hole and we don't live in a vacuum anymore. I just know she's fucking behind it. Anyway, that was all I wanted to say. And I wanted to shout out Deanne Thomas for doing the super snooping for me.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
While we're at it. So I guess we should switch to the next topic.
Sorry, so this Judge Gilday, he's not a retired judge. He's on.
No.
Oh, okay.
He's on the docket, the criminal.
It's the other judge.
He's a special judge for these 2 cases.
That's what I heard. He's a special judge, and then in the criminal case, that is a retired judge, isn't it?
Which criminal
or is
case?
it a retired prosecutor?
Which
I'm just trying to get a Aiden's.
Oh, Aiden's. No,
I'm trying to get them all.
No. Aiden's special prosecutor is a retired judge.
Right. Yes.
Cosgrove, he's a retired judge, but the actual judge Belazos, I don't think he's retired. Well, I haven't really looked into the
criminal one
of who Belazos is. I've had so much on my plate, I isn't that time, to be honest. But I mean, Belazos is already fucked up. Like, I think Aiden's got some appealable issues starting to rack up over there. One of them was that's right. Cosgrove stood there and admitted to Belazos.
Yeah. Irish Outsider. Yeah, I did see, I think it was Brother Counsel who looked up Gilday and said he didn't have a strong, well, he says he has a strong civil background, but the way he talks, something like that.
He doesn't have a civil background at all. What he has is a town select board representation, legal representation for the town select board background.
Oh.
So Cosgrove is still on the stand trying to complete his argument from last year. So Cosgrove actually sat there and admitted to Belazos that it would be just too expensive for the houseos to sue him for defamation. And so our only option was to press charges for witness intimidation. That's what he said to Belazos.
Wow. Yeah.
And I
I
was
don't
like,
even know how it's witness intimidation. They didn't change their testimony. They weren't afraid to testify. They weren't in hospital.
right. And he never threatened them. Like, there was never threatening words or
It's
threatening
like,
anything.
tell the truth.
Tell the truth, exactly. But anyway, Cosgrove admitted that to Belazos, and he didn't even blink. He was just like, oh, yeah, well, I guess criminal it is then. It's like he admitted that it was a civil problem to the judge, but they're going to deal with it criminally. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think it's appealable. It's not an error in law, but the second Belazos fucks up, I'm sure Aiden's team have got like a litany of
Yeah,
soft.
but I'm sure it had something to do with the DA at the time because of all the House defendants calling him and having a personal direct line, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a way to scare Aiden off.
I still can't get over that Belazos heard. There's two things I can't get over. Belazos heard that and still didn't dismiss and say, like, take it civil then, get it out of my court.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one was brains ticking. The second one was
The only thing I remember about that was it, for a case, like they lost the harassment case, right? But with the witness intimidation, it goes to hurt feelings and doesn't it? It's like it's almost like a lower bar and family.
Yep. But it's a big fucking jail sentence.
Yeah, it's weird.
I know what it was. Cosgrove doesn't want to recuse himself from the case because there's a conflict of interest with Lindsay Gattani. So Betterow laid it out very clearly what the conflict of interest was. And Belazos said, you know what, I can see that there's a conflict of interest. It's not just with Cosgrove, it's with the entire DA's office because Lindsay Gattani is their witness.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody from the DA's office can question her because they're all conflicted. And that was the case that Betterow put forward. And Belazos went, you know what? We'll just pretend that's not even happening. We'll just get someone else from somewhere else to question her.
So has that not been decided yet? I thought that was thrown out.
No, that's the decision. It doesn't matter that they're all conflicted. They all get to stay on the case, and someone else can question Gattani. That's his Band-Aid. That's his Band-Aid for absolute full-on fucking conflict. So I think Aiden's pretty good, actually. I think he's set. Once he gets to appeal stage, because nothing's happened, interlocutory wise that he can appeal yet. There's nothing he can do yet, but if he gets convicted, then yeah, I think he's got a litany of bullshit that went on. Also laundering his phone records, that's another one. So the DA's already gone through his phones without a search warrant to search his phones. Goes through his phones, puts it to the grand jury. The grand jury refuses to indict, or what is it? Rejects, whatever it is. They decide, no, we don't want to indict him. So now he's scrambling, DA's scrambling. Now what can I do? So then he comes up with the witness intimidation shit. And he completely launders Aiden's phones because he's already accessed them illegally, or unlawfully it is when they do it, but he's already accessed his information unlawfully, so it's fruit of the poisonous tree. He goes into Judge Corrupt and says, can we have a taint team to go through Aiden's stuff? So now it looks like clean evidence again. It's not
Mhm.
proof of the poisonous tree anymore. So they just laundered that fucking evidence through corrupt. So yeah, I think Aiden's got actually a few
I
avenues.
think we can use the term a fishing expedition on the DA's part.
Oh my god. Okay, let's just settle it. Do you guys use that term in England? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's pretty
yeah,
common.
yeah.
Pretty
Overreaching. We might say overreaching. You know.
right.
Um,
Right. So I got to switch the topic over to Reckless Ben because we've got a couple of his audiences in here and we've been 2 hours on read so far. So, 99, 100. Let me get some different notes on the screen. Remember where I was going with Reckless Ben. Okay, Reckless Ben is a similar situation to Total Boy. And one of the things I wanted to talk about and wind it back to the Banksy thing. Just getting my head together here. So what I was going to talk about. All right, last stream I promised everybody that I would give you some estimates based on what was sold in the minifigures already. That I would give you some estimates on what I think the bags of extra minifigs might be worth. And I came up with just a rough figure, like medium price, what's sold already, of around 30 grand for around 1,000 extra minifigs. So that pushes Brian Mansell's figures from the 160 we originally thought they would be, based on what's his face's own figures. Let me share this screen with you. Based on the McNeff's own figures, where the hell is it? Based on, I'm getting there, sorry. Right. Based on the McNeff's own figures, that's your 161 in their high column, which is what that was, right? Their high value column. Add the 30 grand. It could be a little more than that if he's got a few high value minifigs in that set. You're still close to the $200,000 that everyone's been saying anyway. And while I'm on that topic, I owe Rose an apology because I kind of wrote off her saying the 73,000 was another federal sort of threshold that you had to meet. And she was right. It is another federal threshold, but there's two others before that that are already met. So, but if we're talking about, this is what I don't know, there's a difference between the amount that they're being sued for is millions. Like I think it's 1.3 million off the top of my head, although I've got the complaint here on the screen. I can quickly look at it, but I'm not sure if the federal threshold for 73,000 is based on the amount that they're suing Reckless Ben and Brian for, or if that is the value of the set. Because it's not Brian who's doing the suing, I don't think it's based on the value of the set. I think it's
or
based on.
do we need to just give our viewers a little synopsis from, I can read it from Wikipedia, about the Lego scandal?
We are third live stream in a week on the Lego scandal. So
Yeah, so basically it just refers to, so who's the guy that gave the rare
Brian
Star Wars collection worth up to 200,000, and it was on consignment.
Brian Mansell.
Yeah, so it went missing, right?
Right, and this is what I've got on the screen right now.
And so
This spreadsheet.
who's Reckless Ben?
So I might have to give you the rundown.
So because that looks like he's a YouTube investor.
No,
Reckless
he's
Ben
actually no, he's not an investor. Okay, so here's the 100,000 foot view. Brian Mansell consigned his Legos, his $200,000, which we're just establishing now, is actually $200,000 Lego set
Right.
collection, the biggest in the world Star Wars collection, retro Star
Yeah.
Wars collection, like fresh in the box with the covers still, like plastic still on the box.
And it went missing.
No, he consigned it to a bricks and minifigs store. Now, the
Right.
franchisee of that store signed the contract, and everything under that contract was signed to the store, not to her personally, but to the store.
Company.
And then she had it selling for a year. It's a big collection. She was selling it for a year. She was paying Brian his share, and I think they had some sort of deal, like every so often they would pay his what she'd sold and give him his 65%.
Right.
So right before she's ready to cough up his next payment, her husband gets a job offer somewhere else, and obviously they're not making enough money out of the store, and hubby's offer is better than what they're making out of the store. So she rings up corporate and says, I'm thinking I might sell the store.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not anything solid. It was just, I'm thinking this is what we have to do. What's involved with that? So the following week, so they make an appointment with her to come and talk with her about what she would have to do to sell the store. But instead of doing that, they just did a fucking hostile takeover, kicked her out the store, told her if she doesn't leave now, they're going to call the cops. She's trying to get to the cash register for the point of sale so she can work out how much she owes Brian Mansell for his share of the stuff. But the contract between the store and him is that he still owns what's not sold. So
Right.
she's in a,
Yeah.
she's in a panic. Like they're going to take over the store. All his stuff's still in the store. More than half the store is his gear, his Lego collection, and they're kicking her out. She's trying to get the POS tickets out of the point of sale system, and they're saying, no, don't worry about it. We take over that. They clearly understood at that point. This is on security camera, this conversation, where they're saying, no, we take over the consignment, and they didn't have any choice because it's consigned to the store, not her. So
Right.
kick her out the store, send her on her way, take all she had at night time. She was locking up his Lego collection in safes out the back because the whole front of the store is glass
Right.
and people break in all the time. She doesn't want it out there inviting people to break in, so she's locking it in safes out the back.
Mm-hmm.
The next day she has to go in and give them the keys to everything, the safes and whatever, and then it disappears. The entire collection disappears.
Now, did I see a video somewhere of that she was putting things in the back of her boot, her car?
No. You saw leaving the store and trying to get her things out of the store.
Mm-hmm.
And basically she's still got a bird in the store. She couldn't fit the bird in the fucking car. she's like a big cage with a
Was there no CCTV?
no, this is on it's all there on CCTV.
Right. But they can't tell what she's putting, what
she
she's
only
taking.
she only got some of the CCTV, and they cut her off from it. Once she handed all the keys and the passwords and everything over, they cut her off from it. So she's got at least up to her leaving the store, proving that she's not running off with anything. But Bam's trying to say, oh, she was there with a whole shopping cart with shit in it.
Yeah.
And of course she was. She's fucking run the store for 2 years. She's got her shit in the store. But they're trying to say that she stole it.
Right, but the store would still be liable to the guy who had it on consignment. And if they wanted,
here's the thing. CoffeeZilla managed to get both of them talking and giving all their evidence over what they have, right? So she has nearly the whole collection photographed in the store the day they tried to kick her out.
right?
And then he's got his fella going in there a few days before as a spy, taking pictures of empty shells, like night when she closes up, she takes all Brian's shit off the shelves, puts it into the safes. So he goes, oh, good time to snap everything. Snappity snap, snap, snap. It looks empty. So
Right.
CoffeeZilla gets them both on the phone. He's got whatever Crystal can give him in her information, and he's got whatever Bricks and Minifigs corporate have got to give him their information. And guess what? He busted them so fucking bad. You gotta watch them. You've got to watch the CoffeeZilla episode. He busted them with a fucking U-Haul truck. Not
Yeah.
only did he bust them there at the store with a U-Haul truck, but he also got a phone call from this other store saying, oh, yeah, they turned up here with the U-Haul truck full of a fucking Star Wars collection. We spent 4 hours helping them unload it.
Oh. And who was
So
up about the U-Haul?
that was corporate. So they're trying to say, oh, the new franchisee, but this new franchisee just basically churns LLCs over with them. They're all buddies. They all go to church together. They're all like in this together. So every time they do a hostile takeover on a store, because this isn't the first time they've done it, they just churn the LLC. They get the assets,
Yeah.
rob the assets, move them into another LLC, and then dissolve the other LLC, so it looks like there's no assets, essentially.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've
Um,
had a couple cases like that where one company will go bankrupt and then set up another company.
right. No, Rose, I have not had time to do anything, but thank you for the donation. Much appreciated. The super chat, brother. But I'm getting there. I'm catching up slowly. So this is a good time while Rose is here too, for the BAM people to understand. I have a lane. I don't. I try not to step on other people's toes. Everyone's got a lane, okay? So you've got the barbecue counselor over there. His lane is the civil lane, and he says it very clearly. My lane is civil. I don't want to talk about the criminal stuff. I'm not a criminal lawyer. I'm a civil lawyer. All right.
Mhm.
I am not a lawyer, so I am not talking about the criminal, the civil, although I'll probably bitch a lot like I just did about the Karen Reed one for 2 hours. I'll probably bitch a lot about it, but I'm not a lawyer, so I'm probably not going to get very deep into the lawyer shit unless I got questions like I did today with the Karen Reed one. But my lane is data. So what I did promise you is I would go and check out what I think the leftover collection's worth. The bags of minifigs are worth. And I worked out if he's got, say, 1,000 minifigs is sitting in bags that never got sorted and inventoried yet, then we can probably add 30 grand to this value here. And I believe what I'm looking at here is what BAM will actually admit to being Brian's inventory. I don't believe this is Brian's full inventory list. So what got filed with the RICO lawsuit is BAM's evidence. It's not Brian's full list. I'm still waiting for them to file their responses to the RICO stuff.
Mhm.
And that takes a little longer in the federal court now that Reckless Ben and Brian have removed the RICO from the state court to the federal court because of jurisdiction,
Mhm.
jurisdiction. I forget which way you say that. You know what I'm talking about, don't you,
Yeah.
Karen?
Did he get receipts when he dropped everything off, even though it wasn't logged yet?
So he has a contract and he has a value on that contract, and he has a spreadsheet that he was marking off. They were both marking off on the spreadsheet what was getting sold, what he'd been paid for, and stuff like that. But when they took over the POS system, she lost track of what they had sold in that last period between
Oh,
payments.
yeah.
So what we're seeing here is only what Ben will admit to being on Brian's list. So I don't think this is Brian's full list. But I went through it and I checked it all off with the actual 48-page document like I promised you guys I would in the last stream. And it does more or less match the 48-page exhibit. I think it was I, or what was the exhibit number? I forget now. Rose is going to know the answer to that. Pretty sure it was exhibit I. And I don't think it's Brian's full list. It's just something that BAM's prepared to file with the RICO thing to say, well, this is some of the list, okay? So I still don't think it's fully there. But the other thing I did research, which Rose asked me to do, because now she's here, I'll just say it again. The $73,000 value on the federal suit, I'm pretty sure they're already over that, because I think it's based on the amount that of the RICO that they were suing for is like 1.3 million. I don't think it's based on the value of Brian's Lego, because Brian's not the one who filed the lawsuit. It's actually BAM that filed the lawsuit. So he'll respond to it and probably countersue, I would say. But it's being moved to the federal court because of diversity, not because of value. And I forget what the other one was. Diversity.
Jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's one. The jurisdiction's one. There's 3 of them.
Oh, the value sometimes can push it up to a...
Right, that's last on the list. There's one before diversity, and Rose is going to fill it in for me. I know she knows the answer. But there's 3 there's 3 categories. What was Karen's? Oh, I know. Karen's was it asks a federal question. If it's addressing a federal question, it can go to that court. The second prong would be if it's a diversity question, and then the third prong is definitely the minimum 75 amount in controversy. Well, see, that's the question that I've got, Rose. What's in controversy here? The 1.3 million that RICO claim, isn't that the controversy? Because BAM aren't saying anything about the $200 Lego. They're saying in their complaint, they're saying Crystal stole it. That's not even in their controversy. Theirs is RICO. These guys, $1.3 million RICO, subject matter jurisdiction, personal jurisdiction, and venue. Thank you. But yeah, so I don't think it's based on the amount of the Lego. I think it's based on the 1.3 million, which is well and truly over the 75k minimum. So is the word you're thinking of divesting? No, the word I was thinking of was a question, a federal question, and then diversity, and then it's called, if either of those suits, then it's got to be a minimum of 75k. I'm just saying Rose is right on that score. Anyway, let me get this other spreadsheet up. Where is it? Come on. Yep, it's not that one. That one is blank for some reason. It's not that one either. All right. I know it's here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. I haven't quite got to like doing the additions and subtractions yet, but share this window. So this list here, which I got from the BAM map website, is actually, this is what I was asking, does anyone know the origin of it? So I looked it up in the 45-page document. This is that document sort of all laid out. And it does come to about the same sort of numbers, like around the 684 sold, the total number of ledger rows of what they're claiming, what I just showed you in the other spreadsheet, and so on. So I'm pretty sure that that's what that other spreadsheet is. It is definitely from Exhibit I in the RICO lawsuit. So I still don't even think it's Brian's data, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I know. I'm only showing you the spreadsheet because I'm just saying this is what I did to the 48-page document. I promised I'd work on it, and this is the work I've done on it. So that's all I'm reporting on here. So let's go now. Let me get this up. Because BAM put out a dumb statement. Let me just work out which one I've got here. This is a notice of removal. And then this one is order for granting the joint motion. So BAM put out a statement on their website saying, well, thank God the federal court ruled in our favour and put an injunction on reckless Ben. And that's not what happened at all. So I just wanted to clear that up by showing you that that's not what happened at all. Even though that's what they're claiming on their blog. Hang on. What the fuck? Let me get to the right page, guys. Here we go. Oh, I was going to try and drop that close so I can get it bigger for you and bigger end. Right, so this one says, the statement of the case, temporary restraining order. Plaintiffs allege they are suffering because they're victims. Defendants dispute these allegations with counterclaims. Despite these differences, the parties have agreed to mediate this case, and in light of this, the court enters the following preliminary injunction. So it's basically saying defendants agree that their affiliates, employees, contractors, agents, blah, 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 will refrain from making, transmitting, soliciting, encouraging, blah, 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 publishing or encouraging, entering, remaining at, filming, blocking access to, impersonating. It goes
Okay,
on.
did you see there's a KSL news that is saying the federal court lifted the ban on July 7th?
Right, that's what I'm reading right now.
Okay.
That's what this is saying. Subject to the foregoing, nothing in this order shall prohibit defendants from discussing plaintiffs, commenting on this litigation, publishing court filings, engaging in investigative journalism, expressing opinions, criticism,
There's the link.
and or commentary through any lawful means or methods they choose, including but not limited to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, podcasts, and other internet, television, radio, and social media platforms. So yeah, BAM's claiming that the feds ruled in their favor, and that's what I'm showing you. They actually didn't.
Yeah.
They actually did lift the ban on Ben's freedom of speech. So, and Ben wasn't doing any of that shit anyway. The shit that the court said you can't do this, that, and the other. The only thing he was doing was going there and filming shit. That's it. That's not illegal. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because it does wind back to the Karen Reid case in the regard.
So they're saying that he has a right to do it.
Right, in the regard that Turtle Boy had the right to go around and film, Jen McKay, but the lacrosse game, put a camera in her face and ask her, why did you Google 2:27 a.m. Google search, right? He has a right to do that because he's a citizen journalist, and even on top of that, he actually does have credentials as an actual journalist. And Ben is in that similar category. He is also a citizen documentarian. So all his YouTube videos are all documentary, like miniseries. But he does crazy shit while he's doing it, but we'll get to that in a minute. But what I wanted to do was just pop this on the screen and just like talk through it. I can't play it because I'm going to get struck if I do the audio with it. But I just wanted to put this on the screen. Oh, fuck it, an ad. God damn it. It's an ad. All right, give me 1 second. Put it on the screen and I'll talk through it. All right. Share this tab. So what we're looking at here is 60 Minutes. And what 60 Minutes have done is they have tricked this guy's agents to meet them in town, thinking that he's going to be, I forget what it is. They tricked him into thinking into some sort of thing to do with the NASCAR race that was going on. They tricked him to go into town and meet them. And then they get there and then they just run up with their cameras. Oh, I haven't even pressed the play button. They like just run up with their cameras and, you know, fire all these questions at them. And so they're not that they're a corporation, but they're doing the tabloid stuff, right? This is where they're setting up the trick like appointment for them to meet them in town sort of thing. And basically I pulled up in a very wrong spot. Yeah, see, here they are going to meet with the agents. They're running up with their cameras to film them. And they got the cameras in their faces, and now they're going to ask the uncomfortable questions, and they expose it all on 60 Minutes, YouTube, and national TV. Okay?
Right.
So this is protected activity. All right? It's protected in Australia. It's protected in England. I'm sure of it. It's also protected in United States. In fact, I think it's more fiercely protected in the United States than it is here.
Yeah, because it has to do with the financial aspect. And
right. This particular story is about a company, right? The same as Bricks and Minifigs. This is about a company that exploited thousands of workers in the lead up to its collapse. It's a large security company, very big corporation, just like BAM. In fact, I think they probably worth more than BAM. But 60 Minutes took them down by exposing them. So that's what Ben did with BAM. All right, it's protected. It's not trespass because 60 Minutes went here with their cameras. It's not harassment because 60 Minutes went here with their cameras. The one thing I can say, at least 60 Minutes blurred their faces because the agents are actually the people they're trying to expose right here. Ben could probably take a few notes from 60 Minutes on that. You know, people who are not involved in the actual crime that he's trying to expose to blur their faces. So, and I'm quite happy to criticize some of the things that Ben does, but that does not mean I think he's in the wrong or that he committed any of the crimes that Bam's saying he's committed. So,
yeah, I sent you that article that I was reading.
What article were you reading? The KLS article?
Yeah.
It's good. Everyone's all up to date on he's got his voice back. So everyone's gone and watched. So what he did, Karen, just so to catch you up.
Yeah.
As soon as he got his voice back on the 6th, he published part 3 of his documentary.
Of course he did.
He published it on Patreon, which I shared the link in my comments and with everybody on X. So he did that for the first, I think it was like 24 hours, might be 48 hours. And then he published it to YouTube. So it's actually there for everyone to go watch it. I don't want to play through it. I want him to get all the views for the first, month or so.
Yeah.
I want him to have all the views for part 3 because it's fabulous. So it's actually a build on part 3 that he just
Should we
released.
find the link and put it in?
Yep, Kevy will be on that.
Okay.
It's on the Reckless Ben channel, Kevy. Actually, he might not even be with us. Sometimes I go on so long, it gets to his God knows what hour of the morning. Let me
You
get
want
it.
me to try to find it?
Yeah, Reckless Ben it's on his channel and it's part.
Reckless.
Thank you, Karen.
I've never watched anything of this.
So while I was on his Patreon, I was looking at the other one he was doing, and it's to do with thank you, Kev. He's got it.
Oh, he's got it already.
Yeah, he's paying attention.
Yeah, I'm trying to type at almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm losing it.
Yeah. So while I was on his Patreon, I thought I'll look at this other one, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to get the HBO. I think it was HBO. I forget. He's trying to get the Banksy thing happening on one of the major streaming platforms as a documentary, as a docuseries. And he had their attention, and they offered it to him, and then he did this. Let me get this up.
I think you got a super chat.
Oh, did I? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not even looking at that screen. Let me come back to that. Super chat. Oh, look. Thank you, Harley. That's a huge amount of money. Goodness gracious. Thank you so much. AJ should employ you as his data specialist or for crime agencies. But I don't think so. AJ's got his own.
Merci beaucoup. Yes.
Yeah. Would you like to translate for me?
Thank you.
Merci is thank you.
Yeah.
And what's the rest?
Couch. I didn't. I don't know the rest.
Okay.
I'm French Canadian, and yet I don't speak French.
Okay. You have to translate for me. I know merci is thank you.
Oh, I can look it up.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Look, the Irishman answered.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. I have a translator because I've had a few clients that are Italian, Spanish. I did a couple cases in Spain, and I had to literally put it on translate so that we could communicate.
Right. I don't know what your Canadian is to our dollar either, but it's a
Probably
lot.
the same, isn't it?
No, not to Australian dollar. No, we're at like freaking 50 cents in the dollar right now. Or I can't remember.
Yeah, we are too.
You can nearly
American
double
dollar.
it. You can nearly double it in Australian, Harley. So that's big, but thank you. Much appreciated. French Canadian, but bad with English. All
Yeah.
good. All good.
Can't even speak English.
So does anybody remember seeing the Daredevil do the tightrope walk between the graffiti skyscrapers in downtown LA like 2 years ago? Does anybody remember that?
No.
That was Reckless Ben. It was all over the news.
Oh, wait a minute.
They were like, oh my God, it's illegal. But he's like a daredevil, but it's illegal. He's going to get fined for it. It was just big news, like major big news. Well, I didn't know that was Reckless Ben. I saw it and went, yeah, fuck that. I'm scared of heights. So it did catch my attention that someone had done that, but I didn't know it was Reckless Ben. And because this is what he does as a hobby, it's called slacklining. So rather than a tight rope where you do it on a actual rope, he does it on slackline, which is like a flat rope, like a flat strap. But anyway, he did that across the top of these between these two buildings that are not quite finished towers. I guess they're skyscrapers. But yeah,
I think I saw that as well. Gosh, I didn't realize that was him.
Right, I didn't either until I was watching the Banksy. Until I was watching the Banksy thing. So on his Patreon, I don't want to spoil the story for everyone, but he wants to interview Banksy, and this stunt was, if I'm going to interview Banksy, then I got to do something like big that's artistic and maybe even a little bit illegal, because that's on par with Banksy, right? Because he's a graffiti artist and he tries not to get interviews and be public because he's doing illegal shit. Technically, graffiti is illegal shit, even though it's very expensive art still.
Yeah.
So he's just trying to get Banksy's attention. But here's the thing, he went pretty big on the whole, stunt that he pulled here to try and get Banksy's attention. But what he just did with the bricks and minifigs was like blew it clean out of the water. Like, so that was why I did, half my thumbnail. Like, are you seeing Ben yet, Banksy?
Yeah.
Because it went way more viral than his slackline stunt.
Yeah.
So what he was trying to do, Carol, was hang a big penis on this building. His art was just an outline of a big penis, and he was going to drop a tarp with this big penis on that on the building, and he was fully like geeing up the media, like yeah, because they took notice once he did the slacklining thing. He's like, I'm going to hang a beautiful piece of artwork on the building, and you all got to come out and film it when I get to drop the tarp, so you can all see it, and it's a beautiful message. He's going. It's like a big penis. It's just like spray painted outline of a penis. But anyway, so that's his sense of humor. That's what he does to get the clicks on the videos. I mean, he's funny.
He is funny. Okay,
He's
so I found out what it means, her message, your super chat. Because I thought it meant thank you very much, and it was typed wrong. But it says, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, nice. Thank you from the bottom of my heart right back, Harley.
Okay, sorry. I just had to do that because that's a really nice super chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a nutcase. He's a nutcase, like Irish says.
Yeah, he's a nutcase, but he's a likable nutcase. Like, he's got such a gentle voice. Karen, have you heard his voice?
I haven't. I honestly don't think I've ever seen his videos, but now I will look.
I'll just play a little intro of the video for you. Just a wee little intro, so you get. No, hang on.
Where is he from? America.
Yes, he's from LA. I'm pretty sure he's from LA. I'll just play a little bit of the start of part 3. I want him to.
No, don't play it. Play it part 2. Play it part 2, so it's not taking his thunder.
Radio. But I just want you to hear his voice. Like,
am I gonna fall in love?
I no, just that he's just such a gentle character. Like, how can you think? How can you think he's a bad guy? He's such a soft and gentle character.
Silenced.
I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company.
But today, I got my freedom of speech back.
I have my freedom of speech back, baby. I can say whatever I want. I can say bricks
shut
and
it off.
minifigs
It's got
sucks.
music.
I can say bricks and minifigs still.
Sorry?
It's got music. I'd shut it off.
No, this one. No, this
It's got
one's
music.
not. Yeah, and I've already played this one through and not been struck for it. I think it's like music they made for the video.
Old people, and look, I just said it. I'm not in jail, which is sick. We got our first amendment right back. Yeah. Episode 3 is live right now on Patreon, so check it out. If you don't want to subscribe to Patreon, then you can always just wait until it's on YouTube in a couple days. But it's live, and also you can check out episode 4.
That's as loud as he gets. That's it. That's Ben being hugely loud and being rah-rah. But he's very soft-spoken. He's got a almost whispery voice. He never swears. He's not threatening. He's completely the opposite to Aiden Carney. Personality-wise, but he's copping the same shit that Aiden. You would think the way Ben carries on and the way they have complained about him in their lawsuit, that he was Aiden Carney plus 10.
Right.
because they've just lied about literally everything, just the same way as the housos are doing. Just
And
lie
we've got to
through
remember, when you put something in a pleading, it's not the same thing when you read something to actually hearing it. So
Well,
that's really
Ben's
important that you're
Ben's
pointing
never
out.
said the things that they say he said. Like, I'll just give you a
Yeah.
little. I'll give you taste of what they reckon. This is Ben moving it to the court. Let me find it for you. I think I've actually got it racked up over here. Let me go. The complaint.
I think I'm going to be interested in this case now.
Oh, it is very interesting. And he's going through the same shit. Like, the police are trying to fucking stitch him up with the same way Karen's getting stitched.
But basically, anybody who makes a success out of themselves, they try to shut them down.
Well, they're trying to do the same thing as Gildate, Uncle Bev. They're still, you know how Uncle Bev's like, you what? You put it on YouTube or X or whatever. It's that
How
same
dare
kind.
you? Yeah.
Yeah. It's that same kind of attitude. So let me share this oil over here. Here you go. This is their complaint, and it's off the fucking wall, like from the first sentence.
Okay.
So Bam Salem, Oregon, blah 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 versus Crystal Law and Benjamin Gorman. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Hang on. Crystal Law, Benjamin Gorman, Bam. Oh yeah, Bam Franchising. Yep. So that's Crystal and Ben against him. So I got the wrong one. Sorry. Let me get the right one. Bam complaint. Here we go. I got them all open because I'm still going through them all. All right. Here it is. Rico. All right. Bam against Reckless Ben is Ben Snyder, aka Reckless Ben, and Reckless Ben LLC. And then Brian Mansell is a Lego owner, and Victor Nguyen is Reckless Ben's like editor. So they go through who they all are. BAM is a corporation. Utah is upon information and belief, Schneider is an individual who resides in or around Los Angeles, California, who operates under the DBA or trading as Reckless Ben, as an online page streaming content creator and publisher through YouTube and Patreon, who does his business throughout the United States and Utah. Upon information and belief, Reckless Ben LLC is, okay, moving on. And their affiliate contractors and assistants, including Victor Nguyen, along with Snyder Group affiliated, conspired together with co-defendants Crystal Law and Benjamin Gorman, that's her other half, and potential 15 other does, and aided and abetted to create, participate in, and effectuated a scheme of enterprise of unlawful activities over substantial time of a period of time through multiple distinct episodes in order to defraud, manipulate, threaten, trespass, extort, injure, and damage plaintiffs, including.
Right, but why would he want to do that? Because you could never really sell them again, ever, if they did take them themselves, right?
They're doing it because
Like stealing diamonds.
It's Darvo. It's like, we know we stole them, but we're just going to say everyone else did it.
Yeah, but how is anybody going to sell anything? You know, surely they would come up on radar eventually.
Right. Here's the thing. They're all at another store under BAM's other LLC. So we kind of know that already. That's what I was saying to you before, that CoffeeZilla actually exposed that they bought a U-Haul over and moved it all over to this other store, and they got a witness at this other store who helped them unpack it all. So But the point I'm trying to make here is that they're saying defraud, manipulate, threaten, trespass, extort, injure, damage, and all Ben ever did was say give the Legos back
Yeah, exactly.
in his nice little voice that you just heard.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're doing the same thing that the housos are doing, like making a big deal out of, oh, we've been damaged, we've been threatened, we've been hurt, and everybody's bringing us, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
can
this
see
is
the connection
actually
of, yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
this is actually a RICO. This is they all conspired together. And here's the other thing. The other Ben, is he not in this one? Hang on. Have they joined the other Ben to this? Brian, sorry, not the other Ben. Brian Mansell, the owner of the freaking Legos, they're all over the media telling everybody that they've always been amicable to sort out the Legos. Their first offer to Brian Mansell was, oh, we'll give you $5,000, go away and leave us alone. So he went and got a lawyer. And the lawyer's like, look, just give us the Lego back. We don't want the money, just give us the Lego back. So then they go out there and say, well, he doesn't want the Lego. He doesn't want the Lego back. He doesn't want to take our offer. So it's his problem. And then in another statement to the media, they're going, we're trying to make him whole, but he won't let us. But this is while he's suing him for RICO. This is all out there that he's suing Brian Mansell for RICO. He's got a TRO out, so Brian Mansell can't actually talk about any of this. That is until the other day, the federal one came and overrode the TRO. So he couldn't talk about anything, but they're going around to the media going, Brian Mansell, you know, we're trying to make him whole. We want to talk to him. We're trying to fix it up. But they're suing him for fucking RICO. And they, you know, up until a couple of days ago had a TRO on him. So they're just making it bad. So you know the Afro Man effect, Karen?
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as,
You know,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you,
The
did you
Streisand, the Streisand.
the Streisand effect,
Yeah.
same thing.
The Afro-Man, the police, you know, by
So
yeah.
they started out, all they had to do was give Brian's Lego back. They could have taken all the crystal stock and still, you know, hostilely took over her store and done all of that shit.
Couldn't they have paid out by insurance if it went missing?
All that, right? They could have just given it back because it was all in the store when they took over the store.
Yeah.
There was that. They could make him whole again. They could say, show us your inventory, what you had in the store, and we will try and look through the POS system and match it to your inventory, see what belongs to you. But they didn't do any of that. They threatened him, told him to go away. He had to go and get a lawyer. They basically said it's going to cost you more to sue us than the Legos were. So fuck off. That was their approach. But what happened was he just went, I can't sue them. They're right. I can't sue them. And it is worth more to sue them than the Legos worth. So he went and spoke to Reckless Ben and said, will you do a story on this? Can we expose this? Like, can we tell the world what they're doing? Ben went, fuck yeah, of course we can do that.
So reckless, the Legos aren't Reckless Ben's.
Some of them are now because this went where you need to watch part 1 and 2, okay?
Okay, I will.
Right. Some of them are. He did buy some of them off of Brian. It's actually quite funny how they did that. It's like, we're going to buy $10,000 each, like his whole crew, each of his crew are going to buy a $10,000 Lego set from Brian Mansell. So they all went and got credit cards and got in a debt. Buy it from Brian Mansell. And then they're like, oh shit, now we've got to pay the credit cards. How are we going to do that? Because they haven't even published these videos yet and gone viral yet. They're still trying to get BAM to cooperate. They haven't published the videos yet. So they don't have any money. And so they ring up Brian Mansell, who's got like up to $500,000 on a GoFundMe that they've raised for him so far.
Oh my goodness.
Legal fees. And they're like, Brian, can you lend us $10,000 each? And he's like, yeah, sure.
Yes.
So they all paid out their credit cards, but now they're all owners, like part owners. Or they all own their own Lego set piece,
Yeah.
which is now in their store. So
There's a practical implication to this case. I had a case where, you know how you drop off your car to be fixed at the repair, what is
Yeah.
it called? The mechanics?
yeah,
Well, the person, who does get a receipt, right? You drop off your car. They never give you a receipt. Your car's there.
yeah,
And overnight, that mechanics company went bankrupt and liquidators came in and took everything, including the client's car.
mhm.
And trying to get that back is unbelievable because in law, if you owe money to the tax man, they get first dibs, right? So always get a receipt to say you dropped it off.
Right.
And
He has a contract and everything. They just wouldn't look at it.
yeah,
They kept telling.
but even if you have all that, it still won't. It's still, well, this is a company, so it's slightly different. But you can get into all these kind of troubles on consignment or just dropping something off. It's still a risk. You're always risking it. Because,
Right.
like you say, taking litigation is going to cost you more than sometimes what it's worth.
Right. The contract is between him and the store,
The BAM,
not Crystal. If
right?
it was a personal contract with her name on it, then what BAM is claiming might be true. But the contract is actually got the
With
store's
the
name on it,
franchise,
the
the franchise.
franchise. So whoever came in and took over the franchise, they took on the
They took on the
liability.
liability. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
And yeah, I was just pointing out the hypocrisy of telling the media that they're trying to make Brian Mansell whole because it all blew up in their faces when part one dropped. Everyone just went, "Get out of here," and so it just went totally viral. They went viral. Instead of giving the Legos back, they just Afro-manned themselves.
Yeah, but who's going to deal with them in the future if you put something in consignment and
No, but they've cancelled consignment since this all blew up anyway. It's no longer allowed. They renewed
Right.
I think they renewed all their franchisee contracts and removed that from the contract.
Um,
Because they're trying to say now that it was never part of Crystal's contract, but she's suing them separately to this. And in her lawsuit, her contract says she was allowed to do consignment
yeah.
under the store name. So
Yeah, it's like if you own a McDonald's franchise and you start selling Cinnabons or something, right? You can't do that.
no, the consignment was restricted to it has to be Lego brand. That's all it was restricted to. But you can do consignment under your franchisee agreement. But they changed all that. Now they're going around lying, saying she never had that in her contract to begin with. She didn't.
Did she not have insurance liability just for what was in the store, even though it was a franchise?
How can she claim anything on the store? She got took over. She got hostilely took over. So she can't claim it.
So they
have
they
to.
took liability as soon as they barged in.
She has no liability. The minute they barged in and kicked her out, it was theirs. It was their Rose. I think I just explained it very, very carefully. So I'll do it again for those up the back, okay? I'm not doing the stuff that other people are doing. I have a lane. I'm not a lawyer. I am actually a software engineer. So what I'm doing is the data, okay? That's my lane. You guys will have an interest in what I do once I get the data sorted out and start telling you what the data says. But like at this
And I'm just here as the blonde asking all the stupid questions so that we can understand.
Right. So go to the lawyers and watch the lawyers for the law stuff and go to barbecue counselor and those sort of guys for the civil law stuff, go to I forget who's doing the criminal law
Is
stuff.
uncivil law doing it?
Uncivil law? I don't know. Is he covering it?
I don't know. I thought he did.
Well,
I see
look,
it?
the I'm just trying to think of the guy's name off the top of my head. So you know our regular law tube crowd. One of them is MLS, Making Law Simple.
Oh yeah.
That channel's part of our normal, law tube crowd for the crime cases. They're
Mhm.
covering this, and so yes, it's probably likely that everyone that they hang out with is also covering this. And I think that all the Johnny Depp crew that covered the Johnny Depp case, they're all covering this. So
God,
so it's big.
I'm out of the loop completely.
Yeah, it's big. So but anyway, back on the topic, Rose, what I need to ask you, data set and Python analysis code base. Woohoo. Cool. That's pretty much what I'm doing as well. So what I need from you is, I found through a link on, I'm pretty sure it's yours, right? BAM Maps, your website. I'm just assuming that because you're telling me what your background is and you keep plugging the website. So I'm just assuming it's yours. But I found the torrent to download the unredacted body cam. What I need to know from you is that the genuine copy of that folder from the original leak that the cops leaked, or is it a copy that people have re-exported? Are they original copies off their server, or they re-exported through some sort of software? Assumptions can stay assumptions, perhaps. All right, you don't have to answer that question about who owns the website. I just want to know, do I have an original Fair Income Axon copy with all the Axon fingerprints still in it? Yep, it's the genuine one. I know the person who downloaded and re-uploaded it. Oh, thank you. So I'll have good stuff to come, okay? And I promise I won't step on your toes. It's definitely, databases and Python analysis, but it's not the stuff that you're doing on your website. But it'll be helpful, I promise. So let me shout out whoever it was on that website that did the video analysis. Oh, let me show people this, because it's
So Legal Mindset is doing it.
yeah, they're all doing it.
He's a lawyer.
He's one of the Johnny Depp originals too.
I mean, he's got 655 views on his 1,000 views on one of his videos for that case. Yeah, they're all hitting around 600,000 views. Wow. Yeah. I live under a rock.
There's everyone's covering. This thing has gone viral, and so that's why I'm covering it. Not just because it went viral, because it's a good cause. All right. Ben's getting fucked over by the police because they are buying into literally every lie that these a-holes are telling. And oh my God,
You're being told be careful with the footage. I don't know what that's from, Mark. I don't know if he's behind.
it's all right. I'm not doing anything with the footage publicly. I'm just studying it, and I'm going to show you why. Oh my God, I just scrolled past it. Civil filings, source inventory. Oh, I need to search on it. Hang on. I just want to shout you out for this because it's freaking brilliant. And only you and me are going to appreciate how fucking brilliant it is, okay? Unredacted. I'm sure it's close to that.
I may have to go to bed pretty soon. It's like getting past 4.
All right. I didn't know if you would be hanging around for the Reckless Ben bit, but I was happy to let you if you wanted to. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's very interesting, and especially I didn't realize it it had gotten so much attention.
All right, this bit of brilliant shit here. Okay? Shout out to whoever did that. It's fucking brilliant because what I'm doing is something similar. So, what this is tracking is in the body cam footage, what was redacted. And so there's different color codes here. Like, let me just get closer to it because I've got to have my glasses on for this. What was buried substance is in the darkest red. And then there's defensible PII, which is personally identifiable information. There was other types of redactions, search execution, searching and cuffing the guys, complaint and victim impact, defense backstory, arrest and custody. This is fucking brilliant. This is really good data. I love it. This is the type of thing that I do. But what I needed in the Karen Reed case was a genuine copy of Axon body cam and Axon redacted body cam, which I found the link to the actual Axon, what's it called? AxonEvidence.com. Found the link to the redacted stuff, so I know that's legit. And now you've confirmed to me that this is legit from the Axon and it's not been, re-exported through some other software. You have just completed the circle with the software that I'm writing in Python and with a backend database in the Karen Reed case, for which we can help Ben. Once I got this software all like plugged together and working perfectly, we can help Ben. So essentially,
Audrey, you are amazing. You're incredible.
Thank you. But I don't think I'm all that amazing. Look, Rose does the same sort of stuff and I'm sure has an interest in the same sort of stuff. So it's just different things for different folks. I think you're amazing for doing the type of work that you do and helping, people with their court cases and doing what, and the advocacy work that you're doing. I love that kind of, I can't do it myself. So
Yeah,
I
that's
appreciate
why
that you do.
I started my legal-minded friends to help. It's after I retired from the county solicitor's office and other local government agencies that I worked for. And I found out, I can help people. I can help litigants in person so they don't have to hire a solicitor. And
right. And you're amazing for that. I couldn't do that. So it's kind of cuts both ways. Like, I'm just doing this thing over here that you probably couldn't do. You're over there doing that thing that I couldn't do. So
and when I hear somebody say, I've paid a solicitor over $60,000 and I have no money, all my savings is gone. That makes me really happy that I can help somebody with all the experience I got through the best training,
Yeah. And on that topic, I really appreciate your feedback tonight on some of the legal issues that we tossed around.
Yeah, I wish I could be more attentive to all of this,
That's all right. We don't mind filling
but that's
you
what
in.
legal is all about, asking questions. And when you ask questions, you can get to certain answers. And
Right.
And I love how you go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, there's too many fucking rabbit holes everywhere. I'm always falling in a dungeon somewhere. But right now I am actually in this GPS data in there. Oh my God, Rose, you should submit your contact email. I will as soon as I've got time to contribute to something. I will. I'm so flat out at the moment because I'm also trying to build a house. Just so you know.
Yeah.
I'm actually trying to
do you
design
mind if
a house.
do you mind if I say goodnight and I'll watch the rest of the stream in the morning?
Not at all, Karen. And thank you so much for joining us and having the discussion that we had. I appreciate it. Sorry, it took me 2 days to get to it.
No, it's okay. It's been brilliant. Yeah, I need to get back on top of some of these things because, I did one video on the first hearing of the wrongful death and a couple of ones for Aiden.
Well, I hope I gave you some content to like make some more videos on. feel free to
Yeah.
screen grab anything we talked about. You want to put it on your channel. I'd have shared it to your channel, but I didn't pay for my subscription.
No, it's okay. I don't mind that at all. But
All right.
one
Feel
thing
free to clip it.
the one
if
thing
you
that I'm really concerned with all of this that's going on in Canton, what's it called? Canton?
Canton.
Yeah, I just cannot believe all the trying to get out of doing what's right, and the lawyers
Right.
playing games and stuff like that. It's and this
That's
judge, I just don't feel is taking control of the courtroom, and I try not to say too many negative things. Like I ended up doing one on Bev, is Bev
yeah.
biased? And because at a certain point I can quite confidently say if somebody is right. And yeah, this judge is, I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to wonder about his competency.
Right. And it's really difficult for people who are involved with law, whether you're a lawyer or you're working in that industry, because even here in Australia, they look down on
Oh
you
yeah.
criticizing
Yeah,
judges even in other countries.
Yeah, we have to be really, really careful, and I want to build confidence in the justice system. So I always try to find a way, if I'm going to say something negative, I'm going to hopefully show why it could be negative, right?
Yeah.
And say it in a positive way. But yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes when it's so blatantly obvious,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You go to
Okay.
bed
Good night.
then.
Thank you.
And like I said,
Everyone.
feel free to clip anything you want to.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Okay.
Say good
Good
night,
night.
everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
I was telling them to say good night to you.
Okay. Night night. Bye bye.
Rose, did you make a vibration detector to hear what's been muted? No, I didn't actually. Because you'd already done all of this work. What I did was I grabbed Whisper CPP. I think it is CPP. Whisper something. Installed it, and I transcribed it all. So because I know you've already got it transcribed here on the website. So for those who can't see it, hang on. For those who can't see it, over here it's already all transcribed. And you can download the transcriptions here as well. But what I did was that's the redacted footage. So I wanted to grab the unredacted transcription, like fresh, straight out of the Whisper transcription software, and just run my own searches on it, like continuously running my own searches on keywords and phrases and things like that. So it shows what's muted. It's both. Yes, I know yours are both. It's not that I was checking your work. It's just it was a pain in the ass to download every single one of them. It was so much easier to grab that whole folder I downloaded and just run Whisper on the whole folder, if that makes sense. So I was too lazy to do it singularly off your website. So so I could do the word searches and everything. But I kind of got attached to Karen. I really like her tone and her knowledge. Ozzy, I already admire you for what you bring to the tube world. That's cool. And I'm glad you like Karen. She's one of the super mods. Nene, Kev, you're not the only one. And Michelle. She is one of my super mods. But because we're on such different time zones, we just don't see a lot of her. So she might seem new to a lot of you guys, but she's been around for a bit. She's been on a couple of shows now, and I'll get her in more often. She's very good to talk with, especially with the law stuff where I'm sort of lacking. So the work exists to be checked, and thank you for checking it. Wasn't entirely checking it. What I'm trying to do, which is I'm trying to match. I'm going through, because you did such a good job of collating the filings against the criminal filings against Reckless Ben, I'm going through their claims in those filings and picking out the keywords and then searching the transcripts to see who that came from. So, for example, one of the stories was one of the first body cams. There's that lad sitting across the road. I think it was after Reckless Ben had to rack off. There's a lad sitting across the road. He says he's waiting for his date or something, and that his friend's in that house right there, but he was actually filming for Ben. There's an allegation they make there about he admits to being paid by Ben. I can't remember the exact words. So I just take that phrase that they say and go look through all of the transcripts to see, did that come from him? Did it come from one of the cops? You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I'm checking and double checking right now. But that's totally aside of the stuff I'm doing with the Karen Reid case, because I think what I'm doing with the Karen Reid case is going to help Ben. So essentially, you can take the entire discovery folder, once your lawyers get it, because Ben's having a hard time getting it right now, and dump it into the app that I'm building, and it will sort out, what's charges and, documents and stuff, and what's video, and it will completely rank all of your videos. It will completely frame by frame dissect your entire video, create a database of your video, and tell you where it's been cut, how it's been cut, whether it was cut with the Axon actual suite. So when you do your editing and your redactions in Axon, it leaves specific fingerprints. I'm sure Rose knows exactly what I'm talking about here. But when you do it in another program, it not only transcodes into a different container format, a non-proprietary container format, but it also leaves different fingerprints. So you'll go looking for the Axon fingerprints, which is why I needed original Axon to be able to find the fingerprints to start with and to match them against other videos that are not done in Axon. When it's missing those fingerprints that are proprietary Axon fingerprints, you can say, this is a suspect file. This video is suspect because it wasn't put through the Axon system. And it's what I needed for Karen Reid's files. But also, I just believe Ben's going to need it as well. It also analyzes CCTV and all that sort of stuff as well, and different systems with VMS systems with proprietary container formats, compressed container formats, and all that sort of stuff. So you can unpack it. When your CCTV wraps up your video in its own proprietary, it might be an EXE wrapper or a UPX wrapper, might be a number of different things. When your VMS wraps it like that and you've got to ship a player with it, my software will unpack it from the player for you and give you the raw video, essentially. So it's got a number of different uses. It's going to work for a number of different types of sussing out what they're trying to frame you for type of things. So so that's basically what I'm working on at the moment, just to work out what was done in Karen's case. Right now we're just running it over all of the FOIA videos that came out in the FOIA documents, FOIA drops. So that's what I'd like to be able to do for Ben, is like, here, take it, use it. and the more people that use it, as Rose will be familiar with, the more people you have using it, the more you debug and fix things and get stuff working properly and perfect your art. So happy to donate it. So yes, I will jump on to BAM and get in contact when I'm ready to do that part. We can get that out to Ben somehow. Not just Ben, though. I'm sure there's plenty of other cases that could use it, because I just feel like these guys are being way sneaky. I feel like not just the police, I feel like we need to suss out the CCTV coming out of Eamon McNeff's fucking office as well and get a fix on what he's doing to try and like frame Ben. So they're two very similar cases in that nature. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, while still trying to cover, at least some of the story to keep the interest. So people know what it is that I'm talking about and why I'm talking about it. Then when I get to this part of showing people what I'm doing with Ben's case, they'll understand how it fits into the big picture. So, and I had to do a lot of that with the Karen Reid case too. I couldn't just jump straight into, look, here's the binary. Check out the hexes. I love Aussie Insider, such intelligent investigation. Thank you, Bradley. All right, so that's what I'm working on with the Reckless Ben thing. And it was really good for Karen to get, at least a briefing on what the case is about. Let me get the rest of this on the screen so I can say I've done what I set out to do. Oh yeah, check this out. So for those who didn't know what I was talking about with the Banksy thing. Ah, shit. Come on, get your shit together, Aussie. For those who didn't know what I was talking about with the Banksy thing, this is the stunt that Ben pulled because he's trying to get Banksy's attention so he can do an interview with him. And this one got, a lot of attention, but nowhere near as much as Bricks and Minifigs has got. Like, Bricks and Minifigs has gone way more viral, which is good because when he publishes the Banksy documentary, eventually, outside of Patreon, it'll all make sense to everybody. And he'll have that viewership, already built up because of the band.
Named performance artist and daredevil takes his talents to new heights at LA's so-called graffiti towers. The tower stunt is just the latest challenge for the fearless trespasser who views his outrageous antics as a form of art.
Rick Chambers is live at the towers with more on the man behind the spectacular stunts. Rick.
Whoops, I muted myself. So, did anybody else get giddy just watching him do that? Because I fucking did. The interviews he gave were hilarious for the Rope Book. They were, Mark. They were. I just can't wait for him to release it. I don't want to tell you too much because I want it to be new for you when he actually does release it on the YouTubes. But if you want to get a sneak peek, go and join his Patreon. Let me get the Patreon up for you. The Patreon is Patreon Reckless Ben. Here we go. Let me do that because I don't know that Kevy will have this one, so I'll just do that one myself. If you want to know what's going on with the Banksy, that's the Patreon. Go pay for it and watch it. It's pretty good. But yeah, I get giddy in the stomach just watching him do this.
Yeah, Micah, this man does consider himself to be more of an artist than a daredevil, and he certainly goes to extreme lengths to please his followers on social media. But at the same time, he's also showing us just how penetrable the security is here at downtown LA's #1 eyesore.
So I'm between the two abandoned graffiti towers in downtown LA.
You're looking at YouTuber Ben Schneider, or Reckless Ben, as he's known to his thousands of subscribers.
Oh, don't fall.
He's walking a slack line between two of the graffiti towers at Oceanwide Plaza in downtown LA.
Hopefully I make it across and don't die.
Ben and his crew
No,
were
don't
able
die.
to avoid the expensive police perimeter on Sunday morning.
Hey, oh my God, excuse me while I wet myself. 26 hertz accelerometer data. Did you say that? Nobody knows what the fuck we are talking about, Rose, but holy crapola. I am excited. I'm excited. All right, sorry.
I pretend like we were a religious cult, and we got like 20 people to all hold signs that say Jesus saves. And the signs were blocking the police's point of view, and then we all just like hopped the fence.
Then they climbed 500 feet up the abandoned buildings and did that multiple times to string and then tighten 2 1-inch nylon straps between the towers.
I call it moral graffiti is what I call it. I'm a moral graffiti artist. I vandalize buildings without causing any building damage.
Ben, who is an experienced slackliner, spent just over 2.5 minutes on the line in a safety harness, walking high above the city.
I was pretty confident Ben can pull it off.
Lydia Wren was a lookout for Ben's team and the getaway driver.
I just do this for fun. This is not, a job. I actually, I work on a VR startup, so I'm like a tech person. Okay. So this is like my weekend thing.
Reckless Ben is known for his unusual stunts and has walked the line before in Yosemite, and that was even higher. He's well aware of the danger.
Everything's dangerous, like driving a car is dangerous, but we still drive. So like, the stunt I did is dangerous, but I think the reward outweighed the risk, because it's like, I think we inspired a lot of people. I got to push my comfort zone. We got to do something scary. We got to inspire the world to go live their best life. Saved it.
Once police realized that there were trespassers on the tower property Sunday, they began to search. And the 28-year-old Ohio native had to hide in a tub covered with plywood for several hours. Eventually, though, he escaped both death and the police and pushed the limits of his comfort zone once again.
Oh, I made it.
Now, Ben and Lydia know.
That was harrowing just watching him do it. Crazy. Crazy. So, yeah. So go watch the Banksy thing and work out why he's doing it. Sorry, ears. Give me 1 sec. I got to mute. Seriously, I've run out of coffee and my throat's gone dry. I got at least one more mouthful out of it. So, can I just clarify, Rose? You say 26 hertz accelerometer data. In it, you're talking about the axon? Because if you are talking about the axon, cool. The other thing I need is all the accelerometer data from somebody's iPhone. That would be bloody awesome. We got some shit to solve on the iPhone business in the Karen Reed case, I tell you. I did get, the other day I found a forensic, like DFIR site that distributes sample extractions of hard drives and cell phones and all sorts of things. So I did get my hands on an iOS 15 cell phone extraction. So I'm very excited about that. Yes, Axon. Okay. 3 axes accelerometer. Oh my God. How do I even get those out of an iPhone? Well, there's a number of different ways you can. There is, if you got an iPhone, of course, there's a couple of different free softwares where you can extract your own data. That's one way to do it. There's a very expensive way to do it. You can sign up for a copy of Axiom, Magnet Axiom, or Celebrate. Those are very, very expensive ways to do it, but there is a free, couple of free, not free, they are free. I'm trying to think of the name of it because it's just jumped out of my head and I don't know why. Open source. There's a couple of open source versions that you can use to extract your own phone. I think Ben has an iPhone. So, man, there's so much going on and I just don't have enough time in one day to do it. No need for an expensive way. We can just make the Axiom extractor ourselves. Spot on, Rose. Spot on. but there are some open source sort of versions that you can do the same thing with. So in the Karen Reid case, before anybody even knew Officer John O'Keefe was even missing, she had dropped him off at a party. She left and went home because she thought he'd just forgot about her. So she's pissed off. She goes home, goes to bed. Oh, she rings him like 50 times, like, "You fucking asshole," as you do. And then she goes to bed. Then she wakes up the next morning and realizes, wait a second, maybe he wasn't being an asshole because he's not home yet. So she goes off to look for him. But during that period where she goes to sleep, one of the people in that house that she dropped him off at Googled how long to die in the cold. Only she was drunk. She typed HOS instead of how. So it's how long to die in the cold. And that was at 2:27 a.m. So nobody knew he was missing. Nobody knew that he was laying on another cop's front lawn, dying from hypothermia, supposedly. Nobody knew any of that. Yet she's Googling that on her iPhone. So what she did was she doctored her phone to hide that search. Except SQL has this funny little thing called a wall write ahead log where it keeps things in the background. And so Karen Reid's expert found remnants of that search, that she'd done that search. And then the next version of Celebrite goes, oh yeah, we're now looking in the WAL and we're going looking for deleted files as well. So now the report shows you deleted files, and she's deleted a whole bunch of shit off her phone, like she went nuts. But one of the problems that I was trying to solve, that's one of them. Okay, how does the SQL database normally look when you do a search? I need to see a normal SQLite database, SQLite, if you want to call it that, from a normal phone extraction, to finish shooting that to flames. And then I've got to do another one again, because ironically, Officer John O'Keefe had exactly the same phone. It was an iOS 11 running iOS 15. It was an iPhone 11 running iOS 15 point, I forget now, but they were both running the exact same software. I need to assess what his data looks like, because there's a whole other thing going on with his data. There's missing battery temperatures. There's missing activity. I need to see what the location data looks like. Like, there's so much going on with John's phone. I just think there's a whole bunch of shit missing off his phone as well. So that's why I wanted a copy of an iOS, so I can finish taking the piss out of Ian Whiffen. That dude pissed me off. Rose is one of the few that would probably understand why Ian Whiffen pissed me off with his stupid shit. This is what he said, Rose. He said that Jennifer McCabe didn't delete the House Long to Die in the Cold search off her phone. He said that the phone was just doing a cleanup job. So somehow in its cleanup job, it deleted the most recent search and not the oldest ones. Make that make sense? Then he said in the next trial, he changed his mind and he said, no, it was a backgrounded tab. And when she brought it to the foreground, it just got a new timestamp. No, it didn't get the new timestamp. So she opened it at 2:27. She didn't do the search at 2:27. She just opened it at 2:27. And then she backgrounded it. And then the next morning, she foregrounded it and did the search that morning because Karen told her to when they found John's body. That's her story, and that's what he said. But here's the thing. The two tab IDs are different numbers. So Whiffen's story is it was the same tab. She backgrounded it, she foregrounded it, she backgrounded it, that sort of thing. If that was the case, it would be the same tab number, right? The same ID from the database. But the fact is, they were two different IDs. So it wasn't the same tab. He just glossed over that. He still testified to it, but he just totally glossed over it. So yeah, that's some interesting shit with the phones, like the phone data that I'm doing at the moment, which is why I don't have a lot of time to put on Ben's thing at the moment. But I do know that the work I'm doing on this case will actually assist Ben. So what even such fuckery exactly? and Ian Whiffen, Rose, you're even gonna like have your jaw on the floor. Ian Whiffen is actually works for Cellbrite. And that's the shit that he said on the stand. So but anyway, that's what I'm attempting to do. Trying to stick in my lane, let the lawyers talk about the law and let BJ do the LLC stuff because she's so good at that stuff. She's also really good at the slap stuff. I would love to have had BJ on here to talk with us tonight also with the slap stuff. She would have ironed out a lot of stuff that we didn't know how to answer because we're not from America. But BJ's the slap queen. And I would have loved to have had her on here to talk about that slap stuff that we spent a lot of time earlier talking about. Let me check my notes now. Where was I up to? Okay, we've done that. That's done. We've done that. Look, guys, I'm checking shit off. How West and Crooked here. I covered some ground. I didn't have a lot with the Ben stuff because I've been so focused on working out what was going on with this slap shit. So I can knock that one down. I've done that. Yep, I've done that. Guys, I did the whole fucking list. I did everything on my list inside of 3 hours. Woohoo! I'll repeat tonight before going to bed. Stay in your lane. No worries, Harley. I intend to. All right, guys. I think we're done. I'm very excited to go and look at this Axon stuff now. Rose just got me like so excited. I'm going to be here till like 5 o'clock in the morning now. I'm going to lose a whole night of sleep on this. That's how excited I am. So that's it, guys. I have checked off every freaking thing on my list. I have nothing left to report. I'm sure there's more I probably should report on the Reckless Ben, but I don't want to steal his thunder. He's just got his voice back. He's just allowed to all of a sudden speak again, publish his, part 3. There's so much. So you back yet, Rose? Rose, come back. You back yet? No, he doesn't feel like his thunder. I know he doesn't. He's too nice. He's too nice. Right, he's way too nice. I don't want to share it for him yet because I'd rather he gets the views. Like I had 100 viewers all at once. So I don't know how many. Let me go check the numbers. I'll tell you how much, like throughout the stream. These are all views he deserves. So anyone tuning in should go and watch his part 3 so he can make a little bundle on it. He really should make a little bundle on it because he's got lawyers to pay now. So it's less about stealing his thunder and a little bit more about, making sure that he gets the. Look, we're 1,228 viewers over the evening. So there you go. Everybody go watch part 3. Catch up with part 3 of the story. And that helps Ben pay for his lawyer's bill. He's got $500K on the legal fees. You should definitely go over part 3 on stream. Yeah, but I don't want to do it today. I'm going to. I just want him to get as much as he can, like, so as many eyeballs as he can on it first, get the income flowing from it, and then, because I'm telling you, that legal suit that they have filed, that's going to cost him at least $1 million, at minimum $1 million. I don't think he's going to get. I think he's walking out of that one for anything less. He's going to win it, and someone else is going to pay for the bill, but he still needs that $1 million to kick off. So I want him to have that just from the start, and we'll go over part 3, I promise, on the next stream. So that gives him a little bit of time to like rake it in. So looks like Cappy's a little bit behind us on the stream. So have fun with it, Cappy. All right, guys, I'm done. I can't talk anymore. I'm running out of puff. And I promise the next stream I'll put more towards Ben and Karen Reed. So plus I'm very excited to go and check out this data. So don't expect a stream tomorrow. I reckon I'm going to be here all bugger night. Just getting excited over what data is actually in the Axon. But that was so constructive of Rose to fill me in on what I actually did get my hands on here. So excited. Gotta go do it. Thank you for everything you and others do. No worries, Jacinta. All right. Good night, everyone. Be good. Love you guys. See you next time.